All right, this is a beautiful morning to be here and joined by you from wherever you're watching us from. Welcome to KUTV Rise Today, and today this is the edition where you get to enjoy matters of business, the economy, politics, and a bit of technology here and there according to what is developing all around the world. Welcome to Biashara Tuesday. Please let us know where you are tuning in from by using the hashtag Biashara Tuesday on all your social platforms, and also leaving a comment on the live stream that will be going on our YouTube channels at KUTV Kenya. As I said there, this is Biashara Tuesday, a show that focuses on matters of business and the economy. So we're going to have a look at the business of the state and also the business of the globe, but scaling down to the business of you as an individual. How do you fit in with the play that is going on all over the world? Where do you gain and where are you losing? President William Ruto, the fifth of the Republic of Kenya, has gone on with his rhetoric of being the hustler in chief, a narrative that he built up during his campaign period and was voted in by many jobless and young individuals who are hoping that he will get them and lift them out of poverty. He continues with that same narrative, but as is with every chief grifter, it seems that it's not the case. The campaign promises are not coming into fruition as of the moment. As I speak today, President William Ruto has just held a high-level economic dialogue meeting with the president of Poland, promising him, of course, to invite all the investors from that side of the world to come and invest in opportunities that he says are boundless within this republic. However, on the other side, President William Ruto keeps insisting that young Kenyans should look outside of these borders for opportunities in terms of work, employment, and making money. Whether it's digital or physical, President William Ruto is very positive that there are opportunities outside of this republic, and whining about the problems we have at the moment will not be helpful to any of us. He promises opportunities outside for Kenyans while promising opportunities inside for those who are coming out of Kenya. Who exactly is the president speaking for? I have a lot that I could say about the president, but I will put it aptly by quoting what The Continent has to say. The Continent is a publication on matters of economics and politics all over the African continent. And they had this to say in their latest publication, actually just a piece by Catherine Amai, who says William Ruto, or the headline reads, William Ruto, less hustle chief. Hustler can mean a go-getter who brims with energy and enterprise. It can also mean swindler, conman, or crook. In his first year of office, Kenya's self-proclaimed hustler-in-chief, William Ruto, seems to have turned his thesaurus into a checklist. In the world stage, President William Ruto has positioned himself as a voice of Africa, speaking boldly on matters of climate change, the dollar supremacy, and unequal partnerships between the global north and the global south. However, in unobserved boardrooms, Mr. William Ruto is a darling of the Bretton Woods institutions, speaking the IMF and World Bank. Kenya is his hustle, and the rewards are big. Luxury foreign trips, a tripled budget for his spouse, alleged bribes for lawmakers, a refurbishment of State House to his taste, and $50,000 worth of watch strapped to his wrist. If you've been observing President William Ruto, you will agree especially with that very last statement there. You can read for yourself the whole piece on The Continent, which is a publication from just last week. In the meantime, manufacturers, wholesalers, and retailers in the Republic are grappling with cash flow shortages and hitches due to a reduced demand for goods, services, and reflecting the deteriorating pace of business within the Republic. Because business is the core of our conversation here on Biashara Tuesday, I have a lot to say. But I will hold it up until later when I'm joined by Kimani Wachira and Fendo Goodwin. There are political commentators and also politicians in their own regard, young upcoming politicians in this republic. They'll be helping me put this into perspective in the newspaper review section later on. That's why we get to highlight matters of politics, and now the interplay with Biashara, of course, still sticking with the theme of Biashara Tuesday. The hustler nation, are we being turned into hustlers, or is President William Ruto here to help us get out of the hustling world or the hustling lifestyle? Two of Africa's greatest footballing nation are headed to a head-to-head clash tomorrow, Wednesday, 7th February 2024, to try and secure a spot in the finals of the CAF Africa Cup of Nations 2023, which has been going on in Ivory Coast for the past 1 month. This will culminate in a final at 11th or on 11th of February, and we are looking to see between Nigeria and South Africa who makes it to the finals. The Super Eagles, that is Nigeria's team, has had only one statement to say to a formidable opponents in the shape of Cameroon and Angola and a host of others who they've had to clash with in the lead up to this semi-finals. They've had one statement to say they're trying to secure themselves a spot in the finals, and they've won this 3 times before. South Africa, on the other hand, have also tried to shape themselves up well for the finals by beating a host of teams, including Cape Verde, which were very threatening. They've won only once in their appearance so far in AFCON, in their inaugural appearance actually way back in 1986. Between South Africa, Nigeria, and the other side of the semi-finals, who will make it to the finals and take the trophy that will award them $7 million and $5 million for the first runners-up. I love that conversation here this morning with sportsmen. Who else to put this into perspective than people who are actively involved in sports? I've invited over 2 very interesting gentlemen from the Kenyatta University's men hockey team, the Vultures. That is Leslie Katana and Bradley Kipto. They'll be joining me here on set to talk about their own sporting journey, but also to put a look into the business of sport that is going on at the CAF Africa Cup of Nations. After all that, of course, in between, we'll also look at what is happening in terms of the shilling depreciating against the dollar, where you're feeling the pinch in the economy, and where you can invest to reap benefits in the coming future. So let me know how this show is going on for you as we, of course, broadcast this live from KUTV's station, and leave us a comment there on the social platforms at KUTV Kenya, at Richard_OKENYE. Welcome to the best business show on this side of the Republic. My name is Richard OKENYE. Let's kick it off.
Friends.
I'm from Kingston, Jamaica, you know Portmore. That's my village.
Sanga kuchini hapo kinyevia ukikatia mademu akipita.
Sina pesa saa hii nimekuja kukopesa choo.
From the farm to the consumer, we explore agribusiness opportunities right here with you.
Changamoto lingine ni soko. Soko saa ingine bei inashuka tu drastic, kama saa hii hoho imeshuka chini.
On Money Monday, we explore business stories and engage business professionals as reference points for analyzing investment opportunities.
Last year, the economy grew by 4.8%, which is really an indication of the resilience of the economy.
If we don't grow the economy, then we cannot have economic transformation.
We shall bring you up to speed with everything taking center stage in the business world and the state of the nation. Join me, Ann Odida, every Sunday and Monday for captivating, entertaining, and informative stories at 9 p.m.
Maelfu na maelfu ya wahamiaji wakiwa na watoto kutoka nchi za Amerika ya Kati wanaendelea kuwasili kwenye mpaka kati ya Marekani na Mexico.
But folks, I'm going. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Ni habari kutoka pembe zote duniani.
Pepo pa siko kuvuko. Pepo pa ni idea.
Tazidi ananyonya, hanyonyi vizuri, anakuwa hayuko comfortable.
Jeshi la Jamhuri ya Kidemokrasia ya Kongo linapambana na waasi wa ADF.
Kwa sasa wanatoa wito kwa mashirika, makampuni na vile vituo vya uchukuzi.
Mambo mengi yatakwenda kama yalivyopangwa.
Hapa ni kuna mmoja wa viongozi wa chama cha wavuvi katika eneo hili.
Zaidi
ili tunajaribu kuwapa chanjo ili ina boost ama inanyanyua kinga ya mwili, hiyo inaenda kupelekea kupambana na virusi.
Ni Duniani Leo, Jumatatu mpaka Ijumaa, moja kwa moja kutoka VOA Swahili, Washington DC.
The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
The Bible says, when he spoke, then he spoke a parable to them, that men always ought to pray and not lose heart.
Christ says, I stand in the door and I knock. Whoever hears my voice and opens, I will dwell with him.
Like the moon, I will fade, but like the star, I will rise again. And though I fall, be rest assured that I will rise again.
Go to the hospitals, tell them that God will heal them. Go to the prisons, tell them that they'll be free. Go to the crusades and tell people that Christ is coming, and sooner than the word itself, the second advent is imminent.
Are you an aspiring media practitioner, a graduate, or you just want to advance your skills in television production? Then welcome to Kenyatta University, where education meets innovation. KUTV, the premier university television station in Kenya, is now offering short courses in TV studio, field technical operations, and video editing. Through these courses, you will acquire hands-on skills on camera operations, media production, lighting techniques, audio-visual editing, and sound and visual control, and how to operate key equipment in modern TV control room. Enroll today at KUTV and discover your full potential in cutting-edge TV broadcasting. Graduates of these courses will receive professional certificates. For more information, visit our offices at KUTV Studios or call us on 020-870-4252 or 020-870-4255 or SMS us on 0739-110-544. KUTV, a new experience.
Access to knowledge. Solution to unanswered questions.
Guidelines to pursuing your rights and repossessing your property, intellectual or material.
Only on Law Matters.
All right, thank you for still being here with us on KUTV's Rise today. Biashara Tuesday is live on air, coming through to you. Leave us a comment. These are the road updates, but first, what you can expect in terms of weather in the areas of Nairobi and its environs of Kiambu, where we are broadcasting from. Today, we are having, at the moment, 9 degrees Celsius. It's going to be highs of 28 degrees Celsius and lows of 9 degrees Celsius, which are right about now. In the coming few days, you can also expect it to feel sunny. Today, it's going to be cloudy, and then tomorrow, it's going to be clear in this 5-day forecast that I have, with highs of 28 degrees Celsius and lows of 15 degrees Celsius. So that's going to be the lowest tomorrow, contrary to today at 9 degrees Celsius. And then it's going to maintain that way throughout the week. It's going to be sunny. So beware of that warm weather that's coming up, and it's also going to be clear up in the skies. What is happening on your roads? First, also an update from Kenya Red Cross Nairobi branch. effectively addressing a reported gas leak at the site of the recent fire tragedy in Embakasi fire. Members of the public have been advised to avoid this area until it's deemed safe. So areas which are around where the fire tragedy happened last week, the gas leak that led to the Embakasi fire, members of the public are being advised to avoid that area because there's been reported here another gas leak. All right. So watu wa Embakasi, we are sending our condolences to those who lost their families last week from that incident, but please continue to stay safe and reporting these incidences anywhere else in the Republic where you see them. Here information joining Forest Road from Uhuru Highway. Kunakaa vizuri sana. So those guys who are headed that way. Oh, hakukai vizuri sana. It's a short video, so it starts off as clear roads and then there's a bend there just before you join Uhuru Highway. Kumeshikana sana. So be aware of that information. Bunyala roundabout as well. Avoid it kabisa. That's the information from Ndorobo. DJ Wa Adera Jacob wanasema what's happening along Langata Road. Traffic is building up like crazy. Pale Langata Road, LA, hizo sides, it's building up. So expect it also to build up in the former Mbagathi Way and currently named Raila Odinga Way. So if you're using that route to town, as it's building up in traffic is building up in Langata Way. It's crazy, according to DJ Wa, who's also named as Adera Jacob. Anasema hizo sides are quite vizuri sana. Raining cats and dogs since yesterday in Nyeri town. And that's a Boda Boda update from Othaya Global News. Wanasema it's raining cats and dogs in Nyeri town from yesterday. So that's the weather update on that side. There's heavy traffic along Kiambu Road from Kist as you head to town. What's up? It's not moving at all. From Jojo anasema pale hivyo Kiambu Road. It's building up from Kist as you head to town. Kist is all the way near Kiambu town. So that road must be crazy right about this morning. Avoid it sana sana kama unaweza. Kiambu Road from Tindegwa to Kist, it's a mess. Mega traffic. Why can they do repairs at night with less traffic? This has been happening from yesterday, still the same today. Yeah, so that's the information from Kiambu Road. David Lubanga. It's now clear traffic police officers at the corner of Taj Mahal in Embakasi prefer to risk other road users in order to negotiate their bribe. Here's a picture and a video of police officers who are here and apparently allegedly negotiating their cut inside of these road users' vehicles instead of helping others navigate traffic situation over there. What's happening? Traffic police officers for your side. Accident also along Southern Bypass near Dagoreti. So beware of that information as you approach. Heavy build-up of traffic on Southern Bypass as you approach Thogoto exit headed towards Kikuyu. Spotted from the Nairobi Limuru commuter railway. So mtu ako ndani ya railway, mechungulia nje, ameona there's heavy build-up on the Southern Bypass as you approach the Thogoto exit as you get to Kikuyu. Beware of that information. Night view, receiving some positive information hapa. Night view from Umoja Inako roads, formerly very dilapidated and neglected by the former member of parliament. This is Mwai wa Kariuki, a resident of Umoja. Anasema the roads were neglected by the former member of parliament, but now work in progress, and kudos to our member of parliament, Mark Mwenje, who is overworking. So he is showing us a photo of before and after of the roads in Umoja Inako. Anasema they are very happy. Na wanahitaji kupatia Mark Mwenje 5 more, 5 tena before we elect him as County 047 governor. So kudos Mhesh, we are behind you. That's Mwai wa Kariuki. If you have something positive to say about your members of parliament and those who are working near you, show us and let us know, just like these members of Umoja wanasema. What the hell is happening along Wayaki Way? There's heavy traffic also there. Men's conference wametweet pale wanatuambia Wayaki Way kukai vizuri sana. The Museum Hill interchange outbound to Westlands is slow bumper to bumper, and that's information from Bruce, who's tweeting through Kenyan traffic, giving us the commuting experience as it's happening live on the ground all around Nairobi. From my vantage point at the Donholm interchange, Outer Ring Road is moving smoothly on both sides. Slight traffic, slow traffic, but it's moving smoothly. That's Outer Ring Road accidents alert, an account on Twitter that also gives you information on what's happening along Outer Ring Road real time. Give us more information. If you're outside of Nairobi as well, kama uko Nakuru na kuna traffic anywhere, please tuambie. Mombasa, any other region, but these updates will be going on as we give you more from Biashara Tuesday. This is a show for business, economics, politics, and technology. Biashara Tuesday continues after this short break. Don't go far. Four penalty saves by Captain Ronwen Williams to help South Africa reach the semi-finals of the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations following a 0-0 draw against Cape Verde, who are very threatening. And we had a discussion sometime back here with Emperor Sheikha and Kelvin Benson saying that they're likely to get to the finals. However, that light was dimmed as they were told to go home to their families. The Super Eagles from Nigeria have also been sending the same message to all their previous enemies in the shape of including Cameroon, Angola. They've been told also to go home to their families. Now they have a head-to-head clash tomorrow, Wednesday 7th February, against South Africa, between Bafana and the Super Eagles, who's likely to proceed to the finals that will happen on February 11th. The culmination of this month-long tournament that will award the winner $7 million and the runners-up $5 million. So who are my guests today siding with? Who have been their favorites so far in terms of players and teams? We are speaking to Bradley Kipto and Leslie Katana from the Kenyatta University men's hockey team, aka Vultures. They'll be here to let us know of also their sporting journey with the Vultures, their plans ahead, but also especially the business of sport in Africa. Kenya is poised to host the AFCON in 2027. Are we ready? Or what else can we do to be well prepared for this upcoming AFCON? But of course, the discussion of what is happening currently is what you're looking forward to. So leave us a comment at KUTV Kenya. We'll be right back.
Friends. I'm from Kingston, Jamaica, you know Portmore. That's my village.
Kanga tu chini hapo ukinyedhia ukikatia mademo akipita.
Naweza saa hii nimekuja kukopesa choo.
Maelfu na maelfu ya wahamiaji wakiwa na watoto kutoka nchi za Amerika ya Kati wanaendelea kuwasili kwenye mpaka kati ya Marekani na Mexico.
But folks, I'm going. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Ni habari kutoka pembe zote duniani.
Pepo pasi vuguvugu. Pepo pa ni idea.
Sazidi ananyonya, hanyonyi vizuri, anakuwa hayuko comfortable.
Jeshi la Jamhuri ya Kidemokrasia ya Kongo linapambana na waasi wa ADF.
Kwa sasa wanatoa wito kwa mashirika, makampuni na vile vituo vya uchukuzi.
Mambo mengi yatakwenda kama yalivyopangwa.
Hapa ni kuna mmoja wa viongozi wa chama cha wavuvi katika eneo hili. Zaidi tunajaribu kuwapa chanjo ili ina boost ama inanyanyua kinga ya mwili, hiyo inaenda kupelekea kupambana na virusi.
Ni duniani leo, Jumatatu mpaka Ijumaa, moja kwa moja kutoka VOA Swahili, Washington DC.
From the farm to the consumer, we explore agribusiness opportunities right here with you.
Changamoto lingine ni soko. Soko saa ingine bei inashuka tu drastic, kama saa hii hoho imeshuka chini.
On Money Monday, we explore business stories and engage business professionals as reference points for analyzing investment opportunities.
Last year, the economy grew by 4.8%. and which is really an indication of the resilience of the economy.
If we don't grow the economy, then we cannot have economic transformation.
We shall bring you up to speed with everything taking center stage in the business world and the state of the nation. Join me, Ann Odida, every Sunday and Monday for captivating, entertaining, and informative stories at 9 p.m.
The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
The Bible says, when he spoke, then he spoke a parable to them, that men always ought to pray and not lose heart.
Christ says, I stand in the door and I knock. Whoever hears my voice and opens, I will dwell with him.
Like the moon, I will fade, but like the star, I will rise again. And though I fall, be rest assured that I will rise again.
Go to the hospitals, tell them that God will heal them. Go to the prisons, tell them that they'll be free. Go to the crusades and tell people that Christ is coming, and sooner than the word itself, the second advent is imminent.
Where we ask the coolest questions in science. Let's go! Is yogurt really just rotten milk? Why do humans need sharks to survive? How did a 12-year-old boy from Africa invent modern vanilla farming? How do you deliver medicine to a chimpanzee? Can poop be useful? How can you save the planet by reducing air pollution? To help us answer these questions, we are inviting some wonderful guests from the world of science. They will enlighten you, make you hungry for knowledge, oxygenate your brain, and make your ideas flow. This is Engine Season 3. Let's go!
Access to knowledge. Solution to unanswered questions.
Guidelines to pursuing your rights and repossessing your property, intellectual or material.
This and more only on Law Matters.
All right, we are coming in with a conversation on the Africa Cup of Nations that is currently ongoing in Ivory Coast, Cote d'Ivoire, and we are going to be speaking with two gentlemen who are superstars from the Kenyatta University men's hockey team, the Vultures, Bradley and Leslie Katana. They'll be here, and they are commonly known as, I don't know whether to say in the streets or in the fields, as Mkale and KT. I'm not so sure if they want us to use those names here, but I will be letting them in just a short while. So let us know how your experience with AFCON has been so far. Who's been your favorites? Did you expect the semi-finals to be at where they are at the moment? But we're also speaking about Kenya's hockey situation or hockey scene. The Kenya national men's hockey team participated in an inaugural tournament by the Federation of International Hockey, FIH, if I got it right there. It's a 5-a-side tournament, and Kenya was actually well placed there, performed actually quite nice, and now we've improved our world ranking. So we're going to get also an insight from the gentlemen where this gets them excited and if they are looking forward to joining the national men's team in terms of hockey. So after this short break, actually not a short break, just a breather, and then I am back, so don't go far. All right, keep tweeting at KUTV Kenya or keep Xing. I don't know, it's X, formerly known as Twitter. We've had a fight here on the team on what to call it every other Tuesday, but I insist on calling it X, the platform formerly known as Twitter. Find us at KUTV Kenya. At Richard_OKENYE. We're also streaming live on YouTube, KUTV Kenya. Please find us there and leave a comment as well. Let me introduce the gentlemen here on the show. Karibuni sana guys. I think I'll start from my far right. To introduce yourself, alafu nafila ajele asubuhi. How's it going for you?
My name is Leslie Katana. KT kama venye amesema. Hockey player, 24 years of age. Mimi napenda ball. Yeah, na niko hapa kuongelea stories za AFCON, hockey and about our team Vultures. Thank you.
All right. Welcome. Next to him is M. Kale. Welcome to the show, bro.
I'm Bradley Kipto, famously known as Mkale, hockey player at Kenyatta University, 21 years of age, na napenda ball pia.
Very nice. I have a question. You mentioned napenda ball. Between the big ball and the small ball, why did you guys choose to go with the tiny one? Maybe from KT.
Okay, ni interesting one. Okay, ni interesting. See kama venye watu wanaona hockey ni game dangerous. Kama venye mtu anaweza penda ball, hivyo tu pia ndio pia sisi tunapenda kucheza hockey. Actually naweza sema hockey is just like football because the number of players ni same to 11 na 18 on the bench. So ni tu advancement tu. Kama venye football inachezwa na mguu, sio kitu kingine tu hockey stick. Hakuna difference.
Kuna mguu ya tatu.
Kitu kama hiyo.
Mkale, why did you choose hockey over all the other available balls to play?
Bana, sasa naweza sema nimekuwa mbigi kiasi. Nilikuwa kadogo. So nilikuwa napenda ball but mwili yangu ingeruhusu kucheza ball. But unaona hockey ni akili mingi. Unaona mimi ni kadogo lakini niko on.
Hockey ni akili
mingi.
True. Nikiangalia Vultures composition iko na watu GB sized kidogo. Nini mingi iko kwa akili. Most of the muscle iko kwa akili. Let's pick AFCON, alafu we'll get back to Vultures, and then we get to hear what you guys have prepared for us for the next season. I believe saizi ndio the season is wrapping up, the current one, ndio.
Yes.
One more match to go if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
Right, let's talk AFCON. How's it been like for you guys, starting with KT, matches that you watched so far? It's surprising that ni a tournament of the underdogs. I think when we were starting this show, tukiongelea at the beginning of the month, last month, that is in January, all the people I brought here, nikiuliza their favorite teams, ilikuwa either Senegal, Morocco, or the host, that is Ivory Coast. So before mseme favorite teams zenu saizi, who are they before? Favorites wenu before? Niko sure si wenye wamefika semifinals.
My favorites wangu ilikuwa Senegal. Senegal. Mimi nilikuwa nimesema Mane ndani.
Defending champions.
Defending champions lazima wangezoza.
Nini li happen? What went wrong with Senegal?
Mpira udunda manze. Mpira udunda. Hapo you can't explain mpira udunda.
Bradley, favorite team yako na that is before the happenings that now have led to this semi-final?
Cameroon.
What happened? What went wrong with Cameroon?
Tulipewa bana Ivory Coast.
Walikuwa well prepared.
Mambo ikatuchemukia bana. Kwanza tukapata na Nigeria. Kwanza unajua acha tu.
Onana alikuwa kwa goal. Are you a Manchester United fan tuseme hiyo ndio shida?
Akishika.
At the beginning
mimi ni Manchester United fan but Onana haja meet expectations zetu.
Amewahi meet?
Hajawahi.
Okay, so tumefika semi-finals. We have on one side we have South Africa, Nigeria tomorrow, and then on the other end, before we get to the other semi-final, what do you expect to be happening tomorrow, and who do you bet on?
I think finals mean I expect kuona Ivory Coast na South Africa.
So you think South Africa will beat Nigeria? Even with the experience?
South Africa on the coast why so mimi naona wao wako on. Jo Nigeria to a perspective Nigeria wamekuwa wakistruggle kind of. In as much as wako good defensive wise wameconcede only 1 goal. Lakini ule kipa South Africa Ryan
crazy. 4 saves in a penalty shootout. Hata sijawahi ona hiyo in EPL. Was it surprising to you, Mkale?
Very, very surprising.
What do you think will happen tomorrow then? Who do you think will advance to the finals in the semis ambazo zimebaki?
I think Nigeria. Because ya caliber of players they have. Unajua pia ukienda kwa hii game ni semi-finals. Si ati nini. Like tuko na ile tunahitaji ile experience fulani, unaona? Like inataka composure fulani of which forward wa South Africa hana, but tukiangalia Osimhen atakuwa na hiyo composure, unaona? So tuna depend on these big stars. Tuna depend on big stars wa show their composure. Same as ni kama tu tukicheza hata huku locally. Siwezi expect ujamaa perform the same way na fresh, unaona? Ikifika stages fulani naona maturity fulani itakaa, unaona? So ndo maana mimi na bet on Nigeria na wako very good defensively. Ukiangalia defenders wao, ukiangalia Calvin Bassey, ukiangalia Ekong, very solid. Right, goalkeeper wako on.
We mentioned Osimhen, what are the other players we mentioned size?
Ekong, Calvin Bassey
and Bassey, and earlier we mentioned Ronwen, who is the goalkeeper to South Africa. KT players ambao you can say outstanding so far in this tournament na into the coming few days.
I'll still stick with Ronel Williams. Then kuna Adingra of course ndo alifungia Ivory Coast hiyo equalizing goal. Na like tumeona hadi EPL venye anacheza. Is a young talent na bado kuna venye ukiangalia prospects zake actually Africa kuna the talents. Sasa hii ukiangalia team kama Ivory Coast I think you know imebeba talents nyingi ya Europe than any other teams. So I make it more dangerous than the other. Ivory Coast wanacheza na DRC Congo. So comparing the two teams, Ivory Coast they are so much powerful. DRC Congo wako na Wisa jamaa wangu wa Brentford pale fantasy kwanga ameniokolea vita. Watu wa fantasy wanajua mambo.
Wewe ni mtu wako.
Wewe ni mtu wangu vibaya sana. Wisa
actually
pia.
Now that we mention mlikuwa mmesema that the dark horse for this tournament was it Nigeria?
South Africa.
South Africa. But I will say it's Congo, no?
No, Congo no.
Not really. No one expected Congo afike hapa.
Exactly, but watch out for Congo.
So Congo I think hiyo ndo mwisho. Bana. Congo wametry. Hadi kwenye wamefika,
imetosha.
Lakini imetosha. Unajua inafika time fulani, mtaka kuniambia Congo watapiga Ivory Coast na wako kwao.
No way.
Na unajua kwanza Ivory Coast wamekuwa na drama. Wamekuwa eliminated. Kwanza wamequalify kama hosts kitu ya kwanza. Wamequalify kama hosts. After qualify kama hosts ndio wamekuwa eliminated, wakasack coach, kidogo wanaambiwa wamequalify. Unaona?
Juu wengine wamepigwa kwa
hapana, hiyo ni luck. Hiyo ni luck yenyewe timu iko nayo.
Lakini kidogo tunaambiwa wamequalify ndio wao.
Unajua like beating a team 2-1 na walikuwa 10 men. Hiyo si kitu yenye kwa sports tutachukulia ni rahisi. Mentality. Mentality. Wewe si ni fan wa Man U unajua, mentality.
By the way, Ivory Coast wamekuwa na hiyo tangu warudi tournament. Wamekuwa na hiyo, wamekuwa strong mentally. Ukiona na kesi yako ana believe hadi final whistle ndio tuamini tumetoka. Wamekuwa Poa sana.
So tuangalia final, most likely we have Ivory Coast, and from tomorrow we have South Africa. So South Africa, Ivory Coast at the finals.
Hiyo ndo mimi
ndio unawekelea pesa hapo.
Hapo na niko.
Lakini mimi na Nigeria.
Nigeria.
Lukman hivyo.
Nigeria, and the other side tutakuwa na kwa final yako.
Ivory Coast.
Nigeria, Ivory Coast, or South Africa, Ivory Coast. DR Congo, kama ni Dr. Congo. Pole sana for journey so far. Coming into the tournament, my favorites were Egypt. So mimi nilikuwa Salata perform. Yani threat akifika pale kwa goal. What do you think? How would you rate his overall performance? Egyptian King, what happened there to the Pharaoh?
Salah. Sijui mtasema ni beef.
Yeah, Arsenal Liverpool.
Lakini Salah sidhani kama this season amekuwa on form ka the other seasons. I think amekuwa akistruggle. Ukiangalia hadi Liverpool, most goals amefunga ni mapena. So as a forward, speaking like one, I think you're not supposed to depend on hizo pena. Ndio pena like ni iko hapo like
easy goal.
Easy goal, but sidhani.
Salah na ngapi za pena?
Uko na bog. Uko na penalty ngapi Vultures saa hizi?
Mimi nazifunga zote. Mimi hufunga zote. Bao zangu mingi actually ni hizo mapena.
Ndio maana unajua.
So like najua sasa siko proud kitu kama hiyo. Nataka field goals are much fun than penalties, unaona? Jio saa mtu kasa leo kimpea penalty lazima tu atafunga. Haizi uza. Hadi pia mimi ukinipea mimi sitauza, nitafunga.
But unafaa kuwa na more other
exactly.
Other goals outside of your penalties. And usipotane na watu ka the goalkeeper of South Africa ambaye atashika penalties hapo. Alafu
kipa wetu naye ni kao kipa wa South Africa Vultures. Tuko na kipa fulani amazing.
Tuongeze pena.
Najua mko na kipa wawili.
Kuna Eriko na TJ.
Wote. Lakini wote wako on. Hata TJ ako on.
Very nice. Since uko Arsenal, I'll just bounce this to you before we come back to Mkale. Party with Ghana's performance, injuries memsumbua, did he live up to his leadership kwa hii tournament?
Coming towards the qualifiers, definitely alisaidia. He played a major role kwa qualifiers. Injuries na zimemlemea sahi. Hiyo na ni evident juu hadi amepona juzi, already amepick up another injury. So naweza kuwa kama kesi ya Kante. Kante kidogo tulishanga ma injury sahi hayuko place anaonekana. In as much as any midfielder mnoma, but situation yake injuries ni very very wanting.
Yeah, very wanting.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll see how he performs for your club in the next
hopefully. Tumengoja bana akuje bana. Sasa title race iko on.
Title race iko on.
Tumenyorosha Liverpool juzi hapa. Timu ndogo hizi tunangoja Man U sasa hii.
Hamwezi tutapa.
Wafaza Man U bana. Tunataka kuchukua 6 points.
Hakuna.
6 points muhimu.
Kuna players wa Manchester wamebaki in the AFCON tournament. In Nigeria, sidhani South Africa, sidhani
hakuna.
DR Congo, sidhani
but na amekaa bench. So
Arsenal, is there any players wamebaki wenye watakuwa semi-finals na finals?
Sidhani. Lakini
maybe former
players wetu wa kitambo wako.
Nicolas Pepe.
Unajua kuongelea Ivory Coast niko naongelea kina Javinho hivi.
Old boys
wa Arsenal. Hiyo timu kwanza ni Arsenal vibaya sana.
Very nice. So in the final, wewe una bet on which side kwa hiyo?
So far sasa mimi nadai two stories za Ivory Coast. Mimi Ivory Coast kichwa all the way.
Nigeria?
Ivory Coast kichwa. Nataka tu Nigeria wachape South Africa.
Okay. Kuna specific.
Alafu sasa wakuja hapo wapatane hapo na Ivory Coast.
Lakini South Africa unajua coach wao sasa hii ni coach wa Cameroon. The last time Cameroon walishinda AFCON is the same coach mwenye aliwashindia huko.
Haimata. Unajua South Africa
haimata. Kuna same way sasa huo unasema Real Madrid wakiingia finals Champions League. Unasema kuna venye watabeba hawajai lose. Yeye pia maybe ako na tajriba.
South Africa yes, wako na believe, wako na hiyo self confidence, wako na hiyo kila kitu. Like they play for each other. Unakumbuka ile Real Madrid ile season fulani walikuwa ma comeback. South Africa sawa kwa hivyo like wanaaminiana, wana believe in each other. Lakini nilishakwambia pasa ni experience over mtu amekuwa hii ana hii pressure before. Lakini hao South Africa wako tu hapo.
And they've only won once before.
2000 I think.
Kwa 1980s actually.
Mara mwisho afike semi-finals ni 2000. 24 years.
Watu wamejaribu. So Ivory Coast most likely. Tutakuwa hapa after alafu pia mkwe disappointed. Vile watu wamekuja hapa kusema Senegal, Morocco, siji what not. We'll see how that happens at the finals, but that's what the gentlemen have to say. Kama uko online pia tuambie who you're betting on for this semi-final tomorrow, that's starting tomorrow, and then who you think will proceed to the finals. We'll come and mention that Ivory Coast qualified as the host. Wamejaribu so far wamefika hadi hapa.
Walitoka wakarudi.
Kenya ita qualify automatically ka hosts in 2027. Do you think we'll have the same luck to fika hadi final?
Tusiongee sahihi juu ya Kenya juu hatujaona squad imeneniwa. Na squad ya Kenya iko predictable.
Lakini Kenya tuko on
lakini squad iko predictable.
Kama Tanzania wana pull up na Kenya tuko on.
Apart from squad, do you think we are ready for hata ku proceed so far? Ukiangalia mention neighbors wetu TZ, you can see how they performed in AFCON. Na bado wao ndio tuna qualify now automatically for the next AFCON. Sisi wao na Uganda. Will we be an embarrassing East African community? Sorted to talk group stages because clearly
tukikuwa na strategy kama yenye ilikuwa under 18. Unajua under 18 ilikuwa ni ball fit. Niliwatch I think games zote. Za Kenya.
Until toke hiyo mwisho.
I think tukiza kama wao at least wanaweza tupea hopes. But say hatuwezi predict Kenya juu Kenya squad yao inakuwa unpredictable.
Okay. Squad wise we cannot predict. As players who've been moving around, we move around stadiums, meangalia facilities. Do you think tuko prepared one to host World Cup? World Cup.
Itasumbua.
World Cup itasumbua.
AFCON. So, let's not shoot too far. AFCON. We prepared to host AFCON na kutrain. Do we have facilities mna feel tunaweza train a squad ready to present at AFCON 2027?
For me I think kwa facilities taanza kwanza na ground. Mimi naona ground Kenya yenye maybe ina qualify. Ukiangalia hadi ground zenye ziko sahihi AFCON. Ground zenye ziko ni amazing vibaya sana. Huwezi fananisha na ground yote ya Kenya. The only sierra standard ground inafurahisha tu ni Kasarani peke yake. Kasarani. So you just have to imagine ile investment yenye nafaa kuwa put in hapo ndo to host. Ufananishe tu technology na stadium zenye ziko Ivory Coast sahi. Hiyo wameset levels huko juu. Na ukiangalia pia kuna hizo countries zenye sisi tunaziita countries za Waarabu, Morocco, Egypt, ground zao pia ni more improved. So ndo tufike hapo lazima pia investment lazima iko on. Juu pia Kenya tunafaa pia tujeke hapo kwa chat fulani. Tunajua tuko kwa chat Africa lakini kama Tanzania, mimi nasema kama Tanzania inaweza manage kukua consistent kwa AFCON hivyo, then it's possible for Harambee Stars pia kwa the same consistent. Si ni juzi tu hapo tumekuwa AFCON pia.
For sure.
It's something that's possible. Ni hali tu ya kuconcentrate hiyo energy fulani na kuinvest technology wise kila kitu akwa tu fit.
Brad, do you think the same? Unaona tufanye nini na nini to fix wapi tukue ready?
I think kwanza tu vile ashasema unaona hizo stadium zote tunaona AFCON. Sidhani kuna stadium ya Kenya na meet hizo standards. Hata tu 3/4 way through, hata halfway through.
Even our best stadium bado
inasumbua. So tunafaa kama ni kuinvest tunafaa kwanza saa hii ndio tukue ready ku host your AFCON. Bure umeona standards za set, so umeona hizo stadiums
6 stadiums world class.
World class
kwanza hiyo main one 60,000 seating capacity. Kuna technology moja imeenda, good dressing rooms. Kesho ukienda pale Nyayo na kwanza kuna moja inaitwa Thika Stadium. Hata sitting space hata mnakalia chuma man. Hey, come on. Kenya tunafanya
90 minutes. Alafu game end extra time.
Uko hapo penalties umekaza. Uko na chuma.
By the way, hadi sahi AFCON hakuja kuwa na madrama kama za AFCON ya last time. Sijui referee amalize game before
89 minutes.
Hadi
kuna venye umpiring at least imeimprove, si ndio?
Hadi kuna VR.
Lakini kuna jamaa fulani niliona boli jatoka nje, linesman ashainua, nikashangaa usa kwani huyu ametumwa ama
But they're saying that to set standards for people who've watched the tournament so far, in terms of performance, you know, hata hiyo refereeing, decision making, wanasema tumeset standards. Mna agree? Tumefanya vizuri this time. Tumekaribia Euros hapo.
Hata mtu ana host Euros ashaona, Afrika wamefika hapa.
Ndio blueprint.
Lakini bro, Afrika wanakaza game mbaya. Ile kudefend yenye kwa hapo AFCON.
Hata South Africa's defense, by the way, hiyo ndio ilinimpress sana most recent. So we've really put up some good work there. Okay, so Kenya mshasikia what we need to do before 2027, before we embarrass ourselves before the world and our East African neighbors pia improving. I know TZ have a very good football culture. I don't know so much about Uganda, but I know also a lot about Kenya. We need to do so much more. Now, speaking of improvement, Kenya men's hockey wamefika this inaugural FIH hockey fives, si ndio? Let me know your thoughts, KT, Bradley. Mlifeel aje kuona hii Kenya imefika hapo, na you as young hockey players, how does this translate as inspiration, motivation maybe in any way?
I'd say first of all, congratulations to the team that traveled. Hiyo ilikuwa exposure fiti, plus they put the name or the hockey team, Kenya hockey team at large kwa bar. Walicheza poa actually. I know tulikuwa tumeitwa underdogs kinda, but hiyo team ilikuwa na potential ya kwenda the finals. Ukiona venye walikuwa wanacheza. It's just that Kenya hockey, I think we also need the equipment and facilities za to compete the same level na the other countries. Juu ukiangalia for instance Grao CCM una get, niko sure umekuja kwa City Park watch game zetu. Grao si fiti vile, in as much as watu wako na talent and stuff, watu wanajituma, but the level of competition ain't same. So kwenye walifika actually wana deserve
I'm actually very impressed, as you said there. Nime travel to stadiums different for different games. So in football nimekuwa hiyo Thika Stadium.
Hiyo Thika Stadium imekuuma sana.
Thika Stadium is just separation. Thika Stadium, Nyayo and Kasarani, and then when you compare it to hockey, because I've traveled with Vultures to even to the coast, nimeona how the pitch inakaa huko hapa City Park venye kunakaa. It's impressive that even with those little facilities, Kenya's men's hockey team managed kufika hapo. Mali Harambee Stars tunatry kuwa push even with the facilities azifiki. So I'm sure even with more we can also host the international tournament ya hockey.
Actually last year tumehost club championships. Zimekuwa Kenya. Kulikuwa tunazo protest tu bado za Ograoni. Okay, like kuna improvement though. Siezi kuna hizo improvements, kuna projects zenye wamesema wana put in place towards Grao kukuja. Those Grao kukuja bado hazijakuja, sasa tunangoja. So if that happens, then level yao itapanda tu. Juu kiangalia cost at least activities zenye ziko cost za hockey zimeongezeka. Kiangalia Western same thing, Nairobi same way. So nimeona pia CS amekuwa akikuwa involved hapa na pale. So ukiona at least wana involve government, kuna kitu wanajaribu kufanya. So sika wachezaji tunangoja tu it happen. Tuone exactly the fruits there.
So Bradley, do you have any reactions to Kenya men's hockey team performance?
Kudos to the team. Kwanza mimi personally kwa kupiga tu Australia wameachieve kwanza. Australia ni heavyweight. Australia ni heavyweight.
Okay, hao ndio wanatambulika in the
hao ni heavyweight, but kwa kupiga hiyo kwanza kudos to the team. Compared to equipments, facilities, in fact our facilities are dilapidated. Kwanza tukiangalia for example hapa KU tuna lose players more juu ya nini? Juu ya equipments. Mtu anakuja anaambiwa hii stick ni bei fulani. Shule I provide kwanza. Imagine kama shule I provide. Pia country ndio hiyo. Of which mimi nikisema nataka kwenda training national team lazima nijilipie fare kila kitu. But tukiangalia country kama Netherlands wanapewa kila kitu, unaona. So personally performance na equipment hatuko sawa. Hiyo performance yetu tuko tu sawa.
Okay, yeah, ukicompare with the kind of equipment facilitation tunapewa na performance,
facilities, equipment na kila kitu.
Tunakuwa resilient, tunakuwa na very resilient sportsmen. Tunaona watu rugby wanalala kwa airport, wengine walipitia tickets, lakini bado
travel. Kuna siku travel leo na game iko leo.
Nafika kama mwingine.
Unafika kwa unafika kama umeshapeana okova.
Walifika kwa okova.
That's crazy. We need to do better so that we host more of these tournaments. In the squad that ilicheza hapa nilikuwa nimeget list kiasi. Sijui kama mko na players wenu wenye mlikuwa mmeangalia kwa hiyo nation men's hockey team. Kwa mna Bethel Masambu, Moses Mungai, Danston Wabwire. I personally don't know any of these players. I don't know if you guys have players you know from the team.
Most of them are our friends. Juu tumecheza nao inter universities. Tumecheza nao games kwa league. Tournaments. Tunawanga tu pamoja tu actually. Yeah, they are good and talented guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as young athletes yourselves, are you excited to maybe perform in such a big stage? Kuna aspirations to join team, national team? Before now we speak about Vultures specifically.
Of course, everyone's desire as a Kenyan is to represent their country somewhere and put your country's name high. So if given the opportunity, definitely we'll be there for national team.
We'll be there no matter what.
Matter what.
Save me a seat. Brad, any excitement to or aspirations to join the national team? And unaonaje ukiwa on that level utaweza ku represent?
Obviously. I'll play my heart out.
Okay. All right. So we were talking football, which is AFCON. Are there any relations you see between football and hockey? Saizi ukiangalia AFCON, kuna ile kitu wewe unaangalia and then unasema hii sasa kesho nikiingia pitch ile kitu Zaha amefanya pale ile tutai-translate. Is there any inspiration you're also picking from this AFCON 2023? I think we can start with Bradley and then
I think mimi personally South Africa ni lesson neza sema nikirudi tuseme KU hapa Vultures neza taka hiyo timu yangu ikuwe na hiyo determination, resilience na kujiamini kabisa.
Okay.
Neza taka to borrow from South Africa, tujiamini, like we play for each other, we believe we can make it. Hata kama watu tuamini, si wenyewe tunajiamini, we can make it.
Okay. Spirit of motivation hapo hivyo. Katie?
Mimi naweza sema AFCON kwangu imenifundisha stuffs mingi. Actually there's a lot to learn from the team and to individuals that comes to how you're carrying yourself kwa game. Na venye una relate na wenzako. Okay. Like naweza relate from game ya Congo. Kuna time player anaitwa Jena Sau jina yake but aliingia na akajaribu kucause tuseme kitu kama scuffle but kulikuwa na Wisa is a senior player so alikuja kumcontrol akamwambia tulia tunashinda game haina haja hizo
relax
unaona so kuna vitu kama hizo ndogo ndogo kwa game unaweza ona so that comes to leadership na venye una relate na mwenzako hivyo you know for sports people I'd say tuko na opportunity kubwa sana you sports people are understanding you're supposed to be socially you're supposed to be on top notch. You sports inakufundisha tu your social manners na vitu kama hizo. So mimi naona nimelearn hizo vitu zote.
Nice.
Plus pia unaangalia AFCON, unajua AFCON kwanza wamefuta makocha wengi. Watu wajajiuliza mbona. Afrika pia tuko na drama mingi.
Kisha kosea kidogo enda nyumbani.
Kosea kidogo enda nyumbani. Same ina apply. By then niliona kwa tweet fulani hapo wamesema Africans kwenye tuna draw line ni kwa leaders wa sports na tunafuta. Lakini ikifika kwa leaders wa politics
tunaweka tano
tena watu wende sana. Unaona? Sasa kitu kama hiyo najua watu hawajalan kutoka kwa AFCON. Tunafaa kutoka kwa hiyo kitu, si ndio? So there's a lot of things that I think nimeona AFCON. But all in all I think soccer nayo improve Africa.
Right?
Soccer nayo improve.
Soccer nayo mpira unadunda. Mpira nao unadunda Africa for sure. Watch out for the next AFCON. Niko sure itakuwa moto sana. Kwanza the youngsters once wame of course get experience.
Exactly.
It's been an AFCON also of youngsters. Young players wame show up vizuri sana. Even young players ambao wanacheza EPL na wanacheza African leagues. I was going to speak about a recent transfer yenye ilikuwa imeannouncewa jana asubuhi of a Kenyan Gor Mahia player alikwenda Algeria, alafu tena ikakansoliwa jioni. So sorry to Omolo, but
too bad.
Yeah, play for the country. I don't know what happened there, but you need to do more in terms of the benefits ambazo walikuwa receive also in moving players between Kenya and that other side. Gor Mahia was going to receive I think 3.3 million of just 6 months of loan. Na jamaa alikuwa lipwe $8,000 a month in salary for 6 months. Niko sure Gor Mahia wangemuonea mawinguni after hiyo loan.
Angerudi. Labda Kasarani angecheza tu AFCON.
After meona steady huko ingekuwa tricky.
Kasarani angecheza tu AFCON.
For sure. So we need to do better in football, but of course football has really improved all across the continent. So watch out for Kenya in 2025 and in 2027. Hopefully we perform very well. Let's pick Vultures finally, guys. Which are the positions you individually play at? Na mbona hiyo position umesema ni forward, Kale nimemwona pale katikati, so I'm guessing ni mid. So let us know about position mnacheza na mbona mnacheza hizo position na experience imekwaje with Vultures, actually experience with Vultures in general.
Me nacheza both forward and midfield. Actually I started playing at midfield. Then later on kuna venye pia ucheza tu position moja. Just in case team inakuhitaji another position lazima uko tu versatile. But there's that maybe natural position. So mimi napenda kucheza left midfield. Uko ndo kwenye wanaharamia watu.
Hapo ndo they never see you coming.
Uko ndo kwenye kikiumana huko ndo kwenye wanajituma huko ndo kwenye wanatesa.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Experience yako with Vultures, how long have you been with Vultures?
Since 2019 or 2019. Since 2019 hadi leo mimi nimekuwa Vulture. Yeah.
How's the experience?
Kuwa Vulture ni tamu. Ni tamu sana.
Zaidi.
Wewe umetembea na sisi, si ndio?
Nimeona.
Kuwa Vulture ni tamu
sana.
Kuwa Vulture una enjoy. Una enjoy.
Okay.
Both hockey wise, social wise, kila kitu. I think most of other campus players kama sisi wao wanatuambia mimi natamani ningekuwa mtu wa KU. Natamani
kujibamba sana.
Kuna kujibamba, kuna pia kuenjoy game. Tuko na coach mpoa actually.
Very classy dude.
Unamjua nemse kwako.
Jamaa
Lukuluku.
Maluku.
We have an amazing coach.
Yeah, for sure.
Big up. Nimechoma. Big up to Richard Wandera. See you sir, team yetu actually ni fiti kama venye interact nayo. Tunakuanga na hiyo brotherhoodness. Then kuna hiyo ku fight for one another tukiwa kwa game. Okay, naweza sema tumekuwa na ups and downs zetu, maybe kama hii season hatuja perform venye tulikuwa tuko expected to perform. But still ukiuliza any player how the season has been, anakuambia ameenjoy. As in the long run lazima uko na enjoy the sport that you are playing. So
hata Klopp alisema the same juzi. Hata wanamuuliza mbona hiyo smile, wamepigwa lakini ana smile.
Ana enjoy.
Bado ana enjoy.
Exactly. Unafaa kuwa na enjoy kile unafanya.
Right. Important. Brad. Ni time yako. Wanakuita Brad kweli? Na feel like dating this. Mkale. Hebu tuambie position yako and how your experience has been.
I think mimi ni versatile player. Sikwangi certain, sisi za position moja more than 4 matches. Mimi ni ule player mwenye umse akijaza kadi nitacheza kwake, ule mse mwingine amepanishiwa nitacheza kwake hivyo. But nakuanga I think I'm good defensively.
Okay.
So nakuanga more of defensive. So nimekuwa KU kutoka 2021. I think league ni season yangu ya pili inaisha.
Nice. Experience imekwaje?
Hii season ya pili haijakuwa poa vile. Juu I think season ya kwanza nilikuwa nacheza more of attacking. I think nilikuwa na assist mingi, hata huu anajua nimempea ma assist. Na
nilishinda lakini
hukunishinda. Assist hukunishinda. Ulishinda?
Hakuna mtu anashinda assist.
Basi nilikushinda mabao. Kwa hiyo nilishinda assist, nilikushinda mabao.
Maybe mabao lakini
lakini season umenishinda mabao.
Na assist lakini assist hapana hii season.
Hii season umenishinda mabao.
Zimekataa
hii season sasa mimi.
Hii season ni mabao pekee ndo zimekubali.
I think hii season nyota ya mabao imekuwa kuusa but haijakuwa league. League imekataa.
Okay.
But league so nilijikubali nikacheza more of defensive.
Okay.
So but KU tu ni wewe mwenyewe, ni passion hivyo. But ni poa, ni team poa, ukishaingia kutoka ni ngumu. Tuko hadi na players tuseme wa jamii hizo standards za kucheza but au stick na sisi wako hapo game zote, wako hapo juu vile alikuwa ashasema ni poa kwa uwanja na pia off pitch. But this season hata kama ligi imetukataa, I think Kusa tuko on.
So how's that going so far?
Kusa.
Ilianza last weekend.
Tuko lonely last weekend. I think
tuko lonely at the top.
Tuko lonely at the top. Unbeaten. Ukiangalia column ya D na L ni 0-0. Tuko lonely at the top. W ni 8.
W8. No L, no D.
I think tumeconcede bao 3.
Ni 2.
2
Nani aliconcede hizo TJ? Anyway. Shout out to TJ.
Well, TJ got a clean sheet sita league.
Nice. Okay. So it's been a good experience. Mmesema Kusa mko on. Right. So for the next season, let's pick the next season. Alafu pia tuongee merchandise. Bini business show. So nataka kutafuta mali pesa iko. Mkiona AFCON niliongelea dollars nini. Mapesa lazima ni squeeze in biashara kidogo. Huko hakuna huko. Huko labda M-Pesa, watu wanatumia M-Pesa. But yeah, watu buy merchandise. So tunaenda kuongelea hiyo. But so for the next season, mmesema nyote hii season imekuwa mzuri but not as expected or as you'd have expected to be. Just wanted to say one more thing. We have a player from here in this team ya KUTV Rise today. B Odhiambo, number 5. Mchezaji wa Vultures, my producer and director as well here on the show, so a shout out to him as well. Na tumesema off pitch, so watu wanaweza sikiza mambo ya hockey and all other sporting stories on off pitch podcast, so find it and listen to more of Vultures and other sports team within KU and Kenya at large. So for the next season, KT, as a forward, wewe ndo uko pale mahali unaona shimo za mabao ziko. What do you think you're going to do better to improve?
Next season nayo hakuna otherwise ni kupanda. Juu hadi mimi umesikia venye mimi ni mzee hii team.
Umekaa 28
nimekawia. Kutoka 28 sasa hii. Hadi nikikuja time nilikuwa nakuja KU. Nilikuwa Strathmore. Nilitoka Strathmore nikakuja KU. So nikichange nilisema sasa venye nimekuja KU si tupande ligi. So hiyo ndo ambition any day anytime.
So right now Vultures wako Super League, which is
Super League
right after
ni kama
the Premier League.
Ni kama championship.
Yeah. Derby County huko.
Kama Derby. Sasa ndo Leicester tunadai kupanda.
Mwende kama win league. Hiyo ndo Leicester walifanya. Nice.
So hiyo ndo imekuanga objective yetu kutoka kitambo. So ni venye we are still yet to achieve. Kuna hizo setbacks being a university side. Kuna challenges in public university. Unajua tu venye mambo ina happen.
Tuko hapa, tumekuwa hapa.
Exactly. Exactly. So kuna hizo challenges tunajaribu kucoordinate na shule. Then hopefully zikiingiliana itakuwa much better. Juu tunafaa umesema tuongelee equipment baadaye. So tusifike huko kwanza.
But unaweza drop in.
Unaweza drop in sawa. So like for instance like we need the school to chip in. Tunadai keepers kit. Si ujunilianga jezi by the sisi wenyewe from our own pocket.
Damn.
So like true hiyo kusukuma shule itubaie jezi imekuwa too much na sisi watu wakubwa. Na pia tunadai tukiingia grao watu waone tumepiga luku. Si unajua kocha anapiga luku.
Lazima pia match.
Lazima pia wachezaji wako smart.
For sure.
So tutakuwa tumejituma. Tukicheza game allowance kitoka, tunajituma tu, tunasema acha hii do iende kwa jezi. Hivyo kitu kama hiyo. Same na sticks watu wanajibaia. Sometimes coach ana chip in. So sijui na understand the fact that tunachezea shule, atuchezei brand yenye si watu wanasema tuna protect brand na ni brand ya shule,
tuna protect KU.
KU exactly. Unaona tukichapa wanasema ni KU amechapa, hata wasema ni mimi nimechapa. Tukishinda ni KU imeshinda. So kuna aspect yenye tunadai shule chip in. It make it much easier for us car players. Juu kama since mimi nikuje kutoka fresher, shule hajatupea balls. Hakuna mipira yenye imepeanwa. Imagine hiyo miaka ngapi kutoka 2019
to 2024,
miaka 5. Na boli yao kitu ni tao. Hata kuna zingine za tuso. Si hatuchagui. So long as watu wametrain hivyo.
Ready. Kuna kuchagua jembe.
Exactly. So kama shule inaweza tupatia boli ya punch, boli ya tao, whichever. Hata kama wangetupea 10 in between hiyo, iko tu sawa. Hiyo concern tu. Hivyo. Shule haina hiyo kujituma. But wangetusaidia tu hapo kwa equipment. Juzi last week actually kipa wa Madema amenyoroshwa vidole. Juu ya kit ni mbaya. So najua sana
hizo hazard serious sana.
Msee amewhip tu ball hapo. Mtu ameenda kusave imepata kidole. Unajua kitu kama hiyo it can only be prevented by the kit being safe. So lazima ikuwe mpya. Huwezi train na kit mbaya
na expect good results.
Kit imekazi miaka 5. Hadi wazungu wanatumianga juu kit zao hivi. Mwaka mmoja akawa amerusha. Exactly.
Nice. Mkale, next season mna plan aje internally na ungependa aje externally benye KTM kwa kielezea pia any other things that is left zinaweza saidia team sana?
I think mimi si mzee ka KT team but game wise naweza sema mimi ni mzee. I think game wise wakiongelea KU wanasema wako na KT
lazima ukue hapo kwa wakitaja wazee lazima
hapo lazima niko hapo. So goal yetu ya next season ni lazima tupande. Atujue aje
tunataka ni must.
Tunataka unajua tunakonga na mentality fulani kuhusa ya lazima tuende nationals. Na nationals lazima tufike finals. Unaona? Atujue tutafika aje but lazima tufike. So
like that.
So hiyo ndo mentality tunataka pia kupeleka league season next inaanza. Juu kama season ile ingeachana na hii season 2 ile previous season tulimaliza number 3. Imagine kama tulimaliza number 3. Sina maana tunaweza panda.
For sure.
Kumaanisha wale wawili wenye walipromotiwa ndio walikuwa the only two better sides kutushinda. So meaning is tuko na potential
a lot
of
tulikuwa tuna calculate points with B Odhiambo pia I think ilikuwa jana. Tulikuwa nasema mngewin Coast na Kisumu ama LD.
I think after hii break tungewin game zote tungemaliza number 4. But it happened.
Another thing I think pia shule inafaa, unajua season ya hockey inakujanga in between mwaka mzima. Na unajua shule wao si tuna break
long holiday.
Long holiday. Shule inafaa kutusaidia itu accommodate during that time. Juu for instance hii season partly inaweza sema hiyo break juu tulicheza I think 6 games alafu ka break. Wewe unajua watu wakienda home hockey haichezwi kila mahali kama mafuta. So watu wakienda home venye watu wameenda hivyo home si kila mtu ata train.
For sure.
Unaona watu wakirudi then coach ana struggle tena kuget watu pick kwenye walikuwa wamefika. So like unajua shule pia ikifungwa watawaambia siji budget ya shule siji sasa shule imefungwa siji mwezi fanywa kitu kama nini. Unashangaa hadi kwani shule hizi plan vitu fiti. Si budget ikikuwa laid up si wanaweza set up vitu like ikuwe ina run too smoothly. Juu kama hiyo si watu tunadai
inaenda na kalenda ya season.
Si watu tunadai tukianza kucheza tucheze hivyo fluently
tusibreak. Hiyo kubreak ndio inatuua.
So next season
5 wins tukibreak hivi tukirudi tunapick L2 ndio tuanze kuwin tena. So hiyo inakuanga setback kubwa sana.
Watu wameanza kunona bana. Watu wanatoka home.
For sure. They should streamline the calendar, make sure players wako within the premises during the season. Any external help yenye imebaki? Merchandise. Actually, I wanted us to talk about merchandise. Watu wanaweza buy wapi? Mimi nataka kuvaa B Odhiambo hivi, KT Mkale. Alafu something else I noticed with your team is that mkona wengi, Mcoast, Mkale, sijui muongeze Mkisi, Mjaka.
Mpododido.
Ati what?
Mpododido
ni yupi? 43rd tribe of Kenya.
Huyo hapa.
Ako peke yake member. Alright, so merchandise. Watu wanaweza buy kits, like nikitaka kuvaa one of the Vultures jerseys, naweza buy wapi?
So kits and jerseys actually hizo zote unalast tu na player tu msemo unajua actually for now.
Okay.
Or you can just come to our Instagram page where admin changamka.
Kenyatta University Hockey Team.
Okay. Kenyatta University Hockey Team.
Whatever you need, we DM tu.
DM tu.
Admin atakupanga.
Atakupanga. Na jerseys zetu ni deadly. Hadi old boys wananisumbua huko DMs wanasema, kwani mlingoja tutoke ndo mlete jerseys deadly.
Deadly ajabu.
Na bado mjona next season.
Okay. So for also people who would like to sponsor, nyoje tumeongelea KU sana. I'm sure Vultures in invite any other person who wants to partner with the team. I think any chance. Waambie tu welcome through place nini Adidas kwa t-shirt, I don't know.
Actually si tunadai hizo form. Kama msana anadai ku help team in any other way, we are more of sini team yenye tuna welcome anything so long as tuna support sport na pia support vijana, si tu appreciate tu.
Okay. Very nice. Nilikuwa nataka tuongelee Titans, which is the women's side of Kenyatta University Hockey Team, but because of time I'll just shove that for another time. I'm sure tutarudi hapa tena. Actually after the finals za AFCON tunafaa sana ni group hapa with everyone na bets zao hapa. Tuone vile kulienda, si ndio? So let me read a few of the messages we've received so far. I'll come back to you guys. Last remarks, one on AFCON, of course. Nitasema games zenye, nitasema yo schedule as well, fixtures I mean, for the next semi-finals. And then, get your final reactions on AFCON, your final reactions on Vultures, na pia shoutouts to the people mngependa kupea shoutouts. So prepare hizo. As I see what the people are saying, remember we are streaming live on KUTV Kenya YouTube. Please check it out, leave a comment there, and then leave us a comment on other social platforms. And then unitag pia at Richard_Okenye. Let's go. Edlens, good morning. I am tuned in from Riru to the biggest business show with the #1 techpreneur, Richard Okenye. Hey, unani gas, bro. Thank you, bro. Thank you. I think this is the kind of energy I need to start my day. Asante sana Edlens, anajita chapo saba. Nauliza chapo saba ni kitu ya ukasirikia mtu kweli? Akikula pale, akipromosha lunch. So asante Edlens. Ana Nguma anasema congratulations son, I'm proud of you. Which one of you?
On mamangu.
Hey.
Lazima mamangu akienda kwa TV.
Mama, we made it. Mama, we made it. Thank you Mama KT for tuning in to the show. Very proud of your son. Debbie Rono, loving the show as well. Asante. Jilo Mamu, good morning Sir Richard. Team Ivory Coast over here. Tuned in from Juja for the money talk. Watu wa Juja wako Ivory Coast.
Go on.
Nimejaribu kutafuta relation ya Juja na Ivory Coast, but nitaipata tu. Something to do with green things. Helga Muinde, a very well informed conversation from the gentleman. Only way is up. Pia mkisikia nikitaja mtu najua mnasema
au tunamjua.
Kama ni mtu wako pia unasema
oni mpoa wangu. Oni mspo wangu. Big up.
Big up. Big up msupa wake. Carrington Omondi anasema Brad. Watu wanakujua leo kama Brad
kwa TV. Kwa TV.
Kwa TV tunatumia Brad.
Kwa live on air.
Mambo ya mkaleo
kwa live on air.
All right, Edlens again saying great AFCON insights. Kudos to the guests. Becha Philip Wuzu. Whatever that means, man. Shout out to TJ. He's a great player. TJ anajulikana huko na mafans.
Sana.
TJ, shout out to you. Nashikilia lango pale Vultures. Helga amerudi tena anasema I agree with Leslie Katana, good playing conditions motivate players. That's an aspect Kenyatta University administration should look into. I agree na mpo hapo. Hii ni pilot toki imefanya kazi. Ruth Kirui, congratulations, we are all proud of you. Kipto. Ako on. Thank you and Kipto for tuning in to the show. Guys, thank you for creating time for us this morning. It's been an exciting conversation. Sikudhani tunaweza ongea futa. Previously tumekuwa tukiongea hockey. But thank you for those insights and for what you guys are saying will be the predictions for the next few days. Brian McZ 17 vultures to the world. Watu wa vultures wanaendelea kutuma messages hapo. We'll read them as we go on with the show. The show is going all the way to 10 a.m. So mbaki alafu muendelee kutuma comments. Tutazisoma au sio? Fixtures the next few games in AFCON 2023 like this: Nigeria, South Africa tomorrow at 8 East African time. You can watch that game, and then tomorrow as well at 11 you will see Ivory Coast and Dr. Congo and DR Congo. That will happen, and then match for third place to be discussed. Alafu final tutajua after the tomorrow's semi-final. So let us know who you're betting for. Put your money where your mouth is. Useme na uwezi ekelea pesa. Nasema alafu naekelea kakiru. Kwa kitu unaweza katuma kwa mpesa yangu, nitakuwekea safe and then tutakurudishia. Philip Barongo, shout out to Mwanasina Loa.
Filulu.
Thank you for tuning in. Last comments, guys, before we wrap this segment up. Tuanze na KT.
What I'd like to say is watu wangu wa Ivory Coast kichwa. Ivory Coast kichwa, yeye msahau. Kama ni kuwekeza pesa eka hiyo maeneo, lakini usiwekeze fee.
For sure.
So ningependa kuambia wase thank you for tuning in hapa hivi. Mtu support ka vultures. Najua wase hockey mna watch. Wase uko hivyo home. Mkuje watch game. Mmesikia tunauza majezi. Pia mkuje majezi. Another thing is to anybody who's at home, like let's try and support guys who are wenye wako kwa hii team yetu. Like for instance, I'd say like kupata equipments kwa same sumbua sana. Like unao support yenye wasa wanahitaji. Tuanze from sticks na like equipments tu zote za hockey. Actually hockey ni sport yenye ni expensive. Watu wana hawachukuli hiyo nini. Watu wanachukulianga tu watu wanacheza tu hockey. Unajua stick moja ya hockey ina cost almost 10k. Almost 10k. Sasa ni sport yenye iko expensive. Kiatu ina cost 2500. So unaweza imagine tu.
So wewe nikikuona pale kwa pitch umevaa rent yangu hivi unatembea.
Rent yako na iko on kwa mse.
Sure.
So
watu support.
Watu wajaribu kusupport the sport. It's not only about the union na vitu kama hizo. Mimi nikisema for instance mimi mwenyewe like ndo nicheze hockey, like kuna venye utakuwa umejituma sana. Unaona? Kuna significance yenye behind you the society na fight play towards your sport. Juu kuna for instance kwa madem kuna kwanga na foundation ya Tunza wanajaribu kukuza wasichana. Kitu kama hiyo. So there are also academies wanajaribu kukuza watu hii from background zenye haziko fiti. So hii inakuja hadi kwa mtu yote mwenye ana watch, mwenye ako capable of kuinvest in the sport. Like another chip in. Kuna watu wanadai hizo sticks na bado like kuna watu wanadai juu ukiangalia kuna academy kama Hesa, kuna academy inaitwa Hesa. We have one player anaitwa Freddy. Ako hapa KU actually. Anachezea Western Jaguars. Ametoka kwa academy. Amekuwa under 21. Ana benefit from programs kama hizo. And there are other kids who also need the same platform. Ndio mtu asome. Si KCP imereleasewa juzi, kumekuwa na watu wenye
hawajaweza kuripoti.
Exactly. So same e-sport venye tumesema like inatusaidia ku socialize na ku network. Kuna venye watu pia wanafaa wa invest kwa e-sport. Kuna few companies imeinvest. Juu kuna KC I think wako na sponsorship na Madison. Kuna venye wanasaidiana, tujui contract yao wanasema aje. Kuna Butali Sugar au I think wana sponsor Butali. Kuna Daikyo Heroes. Hivyo. Western Jaguars wako sponsored na DTE. Down to Earth Technologies hivyo. So as you can see kuna hizo companies zenye zinajaribu kusaidia. So anyone out there mwenye akona hiyo financial capability ya kuchipin kwa hiyo sport, I think hiyo ndio kitu itafanya hockey grow far much better.
Sawa. Yeah. Bradley Kipto aka Mkale, your last remarks.
I think kwanza mimi hapo pale AFCON Ivory Coast. Tuko home, so lazima trophy baki home. Defending champ ashatoka, so ametuachia trophy, ameiacha home, si ameirudisha home.
Ameirudisha eti
ameacha home. Yes, for sure. Obviously alikam nayo but atarudi nayo. So ametuachia. Alafu hockey wise tunauza merchandise. Reach out to your page yetu ya Instagram, tutakuplug. Kwanza next season jersey ni kali. Kushinda hizi za previous season.
T-shirt ni ya white ama t-shirt ni
ya hata ni kwa Kenya saa hii.
Tutaona launch.
Tutaona launch. I think next time tukikuja show tutakuja na,
si ndio? Hata nilikuwa nadhani leo mtakuja hivyo.
Tutakuja na jersey, si ndio? Jersey ya Vultures.
Jamaa anapenda Arsenal akakuja tu na jersey ya
Arsenal. Amjui raha yenye kuna kwa fan wa Arsenal.
Hakuna raha.
I think show next.
Kama hiyo ni raha sitaki.
Hakuna raha. Unaongea kama fan wa Chelsea. Unaongea kama fan wa Chelsea.
Umeona bike yangu kumbe? Hapo nje. Show next mtakuja na jersey.
Tutakuja na jerseys za Vultures. Show next. Okay. Pia vile tu ashasema equipments ndio zinasumbua. I think hata KU tume lose players wengi juu equipments. But kudos to coach Wandera. Ametusaidia na chip in, mtu ana equipment, coach ana chip in. Fair kukuja training, coach ana chip in, unaona? Kwenda friendly, siku shule imekataa kutoa bus, coach unaona na chip in. Anasema acha nitoe hii tuende. Vitu ndogo kaa hizo
zinasaidia.
So kidogo equipments hapo na logistics tu za shule.
Okay.
Pia kidogo ndio zinatupea setbacks. Kai seasons kuna away game tumeenda hatujapewa allowance.
Bana shule mna try lakini mtry.
Tumeenda but haijatoka. So nani away game si ni comrades.
The responsible people wana watch show, so hope wata take action.
Tutatumia hadi link
kabisa. Muhimu sana.
Wasiseme hawakuona.
Namtumia hadi inbox na screenshot.
Angalieni vile tunateseka bana.
Okay.
Hockey ni game vile alisema ni game expensive. Stick kwanza ni 10k, unapata kiatu ni 3k, kiatu cheap ni 2500. Stick yenyewe unafaa kuibaya grip, punch, so imefika 10,500. So
fair uende.
Fair kwanza.
Ishafika
rent.
Rent ama nini? Pocket money ya mwaka mzima.
Ndio hiyo. Ndio socks hapo. Ujabai shin guards, protective gear. Goalkeepers pia ndo hao vile ashasema tu tunataka tu shule tu support at least kitu mpya. Ukikutana tija anapewa shout out pale ana save. Lakini akishamaliza kusave anakuja kulia shida.
Maumivu hapa
nimeumia, ona vile nimepigwa ngozi. Sijui sina magoti nini unaona. So but amejikaza tunachezea brand ya shule. Despite hizo resources kwa limited but tuna try our best. Tunasimona kosa tuko lonely at the top.
Hivyo linafaa. Nice, thank you guys. Check out Kenyatta University Hockey Men. Ukitype Instagram, mimi nimetype hivyo na nikapata very quick. Itakuletea Vultures hapo, uangalie picha zao from before, alafu pia piga pale follow, DM them for any merchandise. And if you want to support them, you should support them. I have traveled with the Vultures all over the country. I think sasa nasema all over the country. Ni vile sikuwa hiyo ingine ya Kisumu. But next season tunaenda kila mahali tena. It's a very amazing team. They have passion for this game.
Tuko na nationals pale Kakamega most. Tunaweza
save me a bench, I will be there.
Sasa tulikuwa tunataka maybe tunaweza kuwa na msemo mmoja wa KUTV wa coverage. Tukienda hizi games hata pale tu City Park akuje na ile na kamera ile coverage tu. Hiyo ndio tulikuwa tunaomba.
KUTV management pia mnasikia. Wako behind camera wanaangalia. Mfanye hima man. Mimi nimekuwa kwa stamp.
Sio tuko na KU. Sisi
najitoa.
Au ni KUTV, sisi ni Kenyatta University Hockey Team. Na tuna promise tutawapea good time.
For sure.
Alikuwa na sisi aka experience, alikuwa trip mzima ako excited. Hata tukimwambia sasa tuko na trip kesho najua ataenda.
Ai. Sports shoes go kwa bag.
No.
We go Vultures all the way. Shukran guys. Thank you for tuning into this segment. I'm just going to allow you guys to give a shout out. Sijika I'm gonna shout out, but mine is a great, of course, congratulations to your coach, who's also my namesake, Richard Wandera, sindio, for this amazing team, and of course for sticking through with them. Kama kuna shout outs, hii ndo chance yenu before take break. Mko na mtu mnataka kupea shout out nyumbani asiwamalize ama kwa team?
Wasawao wazijo.
Unataka kubagua?
Acha nisibagua. Acha nikubali niko na jeans. Leo jeans za kina nani? Lakini sina hizo jeans.
Sawa. Thank you KT.
Wasawao kwanza nimecheki comment ya Anti pale tuko on. Wasawao wa Ruiru nimewasikia, kina Umosh Mbecha nimewacheki mko on. Na mkuje zoezi bwana. Tunataka kuona next season. Vultures, mkuje zoezi.
Shout out to
Vultures. Najua Vultures wako tuned in. Coach Keta, najua uko on.
Wanasinaloa na wasewa mzozo.
Wanasinaloa na wasewa mzozo, najua tuko on.
Sawa, thank you very much.
Na Boni, najua uko on.
Be Odhiambo.
Najua Odhiambo uko on.
Sawa. That has been an amazing discussion on the AFCON happenings 2023 so far, and of course what you can expect in the semi-finals and the finals. Watch games za kesho, alafu next week Tuesday nikikuja mniambie kama predictions zenu zimekuwa correct. That was Bradley Kipto and Leslie Katana from the Kenyatta University Hockey Men's Team, also known as Vultures. Please support them. Join them for the games. Check out their fixtures. It's always a good time with them. I'm going to take a short break here, and then I will be back with Biashara Tuesday. Have more conversations lined up. Actually, one more conversation lined up on the newspaper review and the headlines of the day. Already a tweet here from Kimani Wachira, the chairperson of the Kiambu Youth Council. He's coming through to us here, accompanied by Fendo Godwin, having a discussion on what is happening across the nation and across the world. And a tweet hivi before ingia on set. Anajiprepare hapo behind the scenes, alafu anasema, a fly and a politician are killed with a newspaper. Join us for this conversation. I'm taking a short break. I'll be right back. Don't go too far.
In Kenya, for example, the frequency of the floods is becoming more and worse. The amount of people and livestock we're losing.
The level we need to go is the level where the normal mwananchi and also the government stakeholders can uptake these solutions.
Those small acts multiplied by millions of us will help make a difference in the world at the end of the day.
It's just a slight behavior change that we need, and you'll find that it serves us a bit more than you put in. And that's the goal. We want to live a better world than we found. Because at the rate we are going, it's dire.
We will secure the planet for future generations.
you an aspiring media practitioner, a graduate, or you just want to advance your skills in television production? Then welcome to Kenyatta University, where education meets innovation. KUTV, the premier university television station in Kenya, is now offering short courses in TV studio, field technical operations, and video editing. Through these courses, you will acquire hands-on skills on camera operations, media production, lighting techniques, audio-visual editing, and sound and visual control, and how to operate key equipment in modern TV control room. Enroll today at KUTV and discover your full potential in cutting-edge TV broadcasting. Graduates of these courses will receive professional certificates. For more information, visit our offices at KUTV Studios or call us on 020-870-4252 or 020-870-4255 or SMS us on 0739-110-544. KUTV, a new experience.
Bajuka ni kama unarusha mamikono tingisha kichwa tuko sivunje kisogo.
Mbona nyinyi na wawasha nkikula nyama choma tu firifiri na
Give me your hand and shoulder.
I'm feeling vibes on vibes. I'm a ticking diner.
Tell them twerking, pull up the lumber swerving. I work so hard, you know I don't want no stress. I don't get time to impress. Call that girl with a lovely dress. Yeah, yeah.
Now your mom knows about it, and according to her nature, she will definitely humiliate me. And what will other people say?
Listen to me carefully. If you ever claim that Sheba's baby is yours, I'll take you down. Serious. Ilan's an absolute drunkard.
Just give him a break, Nappy.
Okay, but I'm not marrying Ziwa.
What are you doing here?
And who the hell is this? You want some?
Just calm down. Be cool.
Get your hands off her, you...
That con man, even from prison, he torments us.
Are you an aspiring media practitioner, a graduate, or you just want to advance your skills in television production? Then welcome to Kenyatta University, where education meets innovation. KUTV, the premier university television station in Kenya, is now offering short courses in TV studio, field technical operations, and video editing. Through these courses, you will acquire hands-on skills on camera operations, media production, lighting techniques, audio-visual editing, and sound and visual control, and how to operate key equipment in modern TV control room. Enroll today at KUTV and discover your full potential in cutting-edge TV broadcasting. Graduates of these courses will receive professional certificates. For more information, visit our offices at KUTV Studios or call us on 020-870-4252 or 020-870-4255 or SMS us on 0739-110-544. KUTV, a new experience.
All right, this is still Biashara Tuesday. It's been an amazing morning, packed with insightful conversations. The first one we've just had with team members of the Kenyatta University men's hockey team, also known as the Vultures. They are Bradley Kipto and Leslie Katana, forward and midfielder. They've been with the team for a couple of seasons, 1, 2 seasons, the other 5 seasons in. And they've just given us an insight into their experience as hockey players within Kenyatta University. They're calling out for support from the management of Kenyatta University and from any other well-wishers who would like to support this team of young players who are putting the name of KU at the forefront. They are lonely at the top when it comes to KUSA games. They have fared on well in this season, and they're inviting you to join them for their final game against Daiko, and then join them in the next season where they're aiming or gunning to join the Premier League. They're in the Super League, which is just a championship league right below the main league of hockey. Kenya's men's hockey team, national team, was playing at the inaugural Federation of International Hockey World Cup, which is a 5-a-side, and they fared on really well. They actually emerged 3rd in Africa, if I'm not wrong, from the results I got here. So we need to support these young men. They gave us also an insightful discussion into AFCON 2023. They're betting on Ivory Coast, the home team, which is hosting this season of AFCON. It's been an exciting season so far. Every team has put on a show. South Africa putting on a show. They've made it to the semi-finals. Tomorrow playing against the Super Eagles, Nigeria. And they saved 4 penalty shots in their last game against Cape Verde. Something that has not been seen before. And AFCON is now rivalry to Euros. They're actually saying it's a well-presented tournament up to the standards of the Euros, or even superseding that. We've not had any VAR issues, and we've not had any major refereeing issues. So kudos to the players as well, and we're hoping that Kenya can learn and pick a few lessons here and there as we prepare to host the AFCONs in 2027. But most importantly, make sure that you're supporting the Kenyatta University men's hockey team, that is the Vultures. I've been to their couple of games. I've been to their games in the city, in the coast, and in other venues. They play really well. They need support. And if your support is only to show up, please do show up for the games. If your support is some form of monetary aid, do so. If you have to buy merchandise, DM them, Kenyatta University men hockey team, and you will get the response that you need. Now, going for a break. I'm not going for a break. I'm inviting over my guest, Kimani Wachira and Fendo Goodwin, my political commentators of the day. We're here to agree, disagree, reject, react to the happenings of the country. So grab yourself a paper. The Daily Nation, the Business Daily, and the Standard is what we have here with us. Any other you have, the People's Daily, the East African Review, any other paper from any other day, and you feel they have interesting stories for us to look over, this is the time for you. Let me swallow a bit of saliva, prepare a few words, and then I bring them on set. Don't go far. All right, so this is what the headlines have to say this morning. The Daily Nation is elusive documents have turned thousands aliens in their own country. Securing a new identity card or replacing a lost one becomes a nightmare for thousands of Kenyans. In the past, logistical glitches, including breakdowns of printing machines, shortage of printing materials with security features, and rigorous vetting processes have been blamed for the backlog. But a court order halting issuance of third-generation cards has now stalled a system bogged down by bureaucratic and corrupt schemes. Caught up in the mess are more than 500,000 post-secondary students who are unable now to apply for state loans to join colleges. Job seekers and patients are seeking passports for treatment abroad, and they cannot get that. So the question the Daily Nation is asking this morning is, where are IDs? Where are these identification documents? The Business Daily, which is a small kid of the Daily Nation, here says CBK in major operation to stop aggressive dollar bids. Central Bank Governor Kamau Thuge pleads with bank bosses to stop aggressive bids. He sees the shilling gaining ground to 155 if they play ball. Remember, the shilling slid past the 160 mark to the greenback, that is 1 shilling or $1 to the Kenyan shilling at 160. It has dropped by about a shilling in the past week, and Kamau Thuge, the CBK governor, is requesting that other bank CEOs and senior staff from the Treasury Department stop their aggressive bids if we are hoping to reassure them of access to dollars and our shilling gaining ground against the dollar. And he is hopeful for it to get up to 155. Reminds me of President William Ruto saying that we'll get to 125 before February of 2023. You can check your calendar and see which year we are and which February. The Standard. I think I've started to preempt my thoughts way too early. So let's get into the Standard. I invite my guests ndio niseme my comments later. The Standard headline, anger as hundreds stared death in the face. Anger as hundreds stared death in the face. Residents at Nairobi's Embakasi estate are living in fear of yet another explosion, where police say whereas the police say the place is safe. The sight of gas tankers and talk of new leakages has residents all worried. This morning I read a comment from the Kenya Red Cross Nairobi chapter, who are also warning residents of Embakasi that there's reports of a gas leak and fresh worries of another explosion. So the Standard is saying, anger as hundreds stare death in the face. Kimani Washira and Fendo Goodwin are with me here. Is it Godwin or Goodwin?
Godwin.
Fendo Godwin.
Yes.
Are joining me here as the political commentators of the day. So let me introduce them and then we get to react and opine on what is happening in our republic. I'll start with the new face on the show. Alafu ni allow Kimani Washira aigongele ndipo before tuanze discussion. Fendo.
Yes, my name is Fendo Godwin. Actually, I like to say that my binomial nomenclature is Fendo Shikalama Godwin, a political commentator, an activist in one way or the other, and a lover of the law and a patriot Kenyan citizen.
Right.
Yeah.
Patriotism, is that worth something these days?
We still love Kenya, and my left hand will continue to bear the flag of Kenya.
I see all of us do.
Yeah.
Very nice. Welcome to the show. I will not like to quote Nyashinsky, who says that mkono inapeana bribe ndio imevaa bracelet ya Kenya. So that's a whole other conversation too, on the proliferation of these wristbands all over the world. But welcome to the show, Fendo.
Thank you very much, Kenya.
Kimani Washira.
Thank you very much. I'm Kimani Washira, President Emeritus TV Student Association. I'm the current incumbent chair, Kiambu Youth Council, and we are here to discuss the state of the nation and a newspaper review, check what needs to be done, what is going right and what is going wrong in our government, because it is our civic duty as the citizens of this republic to keep the government in check, to advise, and also to disagree on issues that we think that are pertinent to what made us vote this government in.
Right. It's the month of love. Are we going to do it with a pinch of love? Love-hate?
I think
tough love.
Being February, we are going to go red on the issues. We are going to raise red flags where need be, but we're also going to show up to the government because, as we said, we are patriotic Kenyans.
Yeah.
And anybody who wishes for a government to fail wishes to be part of a failed system.
Yeah.
So it is our civic responsibility to ensure that we advise accordingly, we raise our issues accordingly, and also congratulate when these are going right.
Yeah.
Not always Kenyans do that, but we need to inculcate that culture of patriotism in our people.
Yeah. If Kenya was a lover and the Kenyans were the other side of this love relationship, it's kind of a love-hate, yeah? Sometimes we show up at the polls, sometimes we complain, sometimes we demonstrate, sometimes we rally behind our athletes when Kipchoge is winning or when Kiptum is winning, when our rugby team is performing. And then on the other days, we have tragedies, like what we are seeing in Embakasi. We have tragedies, like what we have seen in people who are trying to get documents. So let's get to react first on what the headlines have, and then see the major stories, and see, where we need to improve and where we have actually improved. So with the three on the table before you, Fendo, hebu niambie hapa ungekuwa editor, ni nani hapa ameweza kazi leo? Tick.
Hapa ningeanza na Standard,
okay,
because it raises an issue about the Kenyan citizens, and Kenya is a nation because it has the individuals, and because it's directly touching about the death and lives, it's an issue that I'll give it to the Standard.
Okay.
Yeah.
They've put prominence to this Embakasi story.
Yeah.
Kimani? Na agree ama unasemaje?
I'll also go with the standard. The pictorial, it shows the remnant of what happened in Embakasi, and it should be the last photo we see of trailers that have had fires from LPG or even petroleum products that are being transported. It reminds us of the scary incidents that happened in Salga without mentioning, just the photo itself. It reminds us that where we have been from, and the caption itself, anger as 100 stares death in the face, also shows that something has been done, but not a lot has been done, because from Friday, we thought that as at today we would have solved, though I've seen that the president gave an executive order or executive directive that those people who are responsible to be arrested, I'll settle still with the captions from the standard, because it depicts the current situation, because regardless of whether there are leakages or not, people who near any other gas depot or gas depot business are worried.
Yes.
And it will be nice before we even go deeper to request the relevant authorities to do another round of inspections in all the suppliers of gases, because we need to be ahead of such incidences.
Yes. I think I would also vote for the standard this morning. There's a lot of anger, and if no one is angry, I think there's a need for anger. And I will edit it out and say maybe anger as millions stare death in the face. If you are speaking public disservice, as the Daily Nation was putting it last week, we are aware that this might not be the only place where this kind of illegal gas refilling plant is at in Kenya. This is not an isolated incident. Residents in Embakasi still are fearing that there might be another explosion because of reports that there's gas leakages still. And this is just in Embakasi. If we are speaking public disservice and corruption in Embakasi, you can imagine how many other towns where gas refilling is happening, and we have these kinds of plants where they're within residential areas, they do not go through the due procedures, and therefore we could scale it to millions of Kenyans who should be angry and should call for that thorough inspection, as Kimani Washira is putting it there. So this incident happened last week. Page 4 of the Standard has the full story, and it also has a picture here of a lady standing at the corridors of Victory Junior School, which closed yesterday due to fears of a possible explosion after the residents claimed they have smelled gas in Embakasi, Nairobi. In this disaster, 30 families are remaining in the social hall where Nairobi County government has been hosting and feeding Embakasi fire victims. In terms of aid, so far, the Kenya Red Cross has come through and committed to cover 2-month rent for affected individuals, amounting to 6,000 per household. And we've seen, of course, a few things from the county government of Nairobi, Governor Sakakaja waiving a few of those medical bills for the families. Some 28 families, among them 9 adults and 19 children, are still sheltering, though, at the social hall. We've seen here the situation they are reporting at KNH remains critical but under control, receiving as much as 67 patients from the incident, with 6 in critical conditions, suffering from severe burns. Other hospitals have discharged 27 patients, while 34 others continue to receive care in various wards. So we are seeing lots of people affected in just a small region. And there's fear of more happening. Do you think the government, Fendo, will be up to task in rooting out this?
Actually, OKENYE, I think this headline and this story coverage, it's a wake-up call to many Kenyans, and it's not just about this gas explosions.
Okay.
It's about, NEMA was involved here. It licensed them, it given them an okay to move forward, and there are many buildings that, they are not up to par. In the past, buildings have been killing people, and you find that there were some commotions, legal entities, that were breached, and these things ended up killing people. So it's not just about this gas, but it should be a wake-up call to all the structural, investments. Even the town planning. Yesterday, Raila Amolo Odinga talked about it, that a lot of problem we have in urban centers, it's planning. Even jam on these roads are all about planning and not being compliant to this problem. But I find that the government will be in a very crossroad and a very serious issue to handle this issue, because some of these people are the political, financiers. They finance them. If you go deep into this story, you'll find that he finances some of the members of parliament. You know, and this issue, even if the court decides in a fair manner, in a justice manner, that these issues should be closed down, it's just some phone calls here and there. And therefore, this should be a wake-up call. We've lost lives, and should be a wake-up call for us that we need to be serious about the state of how we are taking things. Let's have appropriate planning. Let the law be followed, and let everything done in order.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kimani Washira, last week when we were reading the Daily Nation, I was having that discussion here with your good friend Nick Modime. We saw a term they called a well-oiled machine. Yeah. So if we need to root out some of these issues, as you say, we need to have good urban planning, as Raila Odinga is calling out for proper planning of cities and towns. We need auditing of the buildings. We need some of this, and aptly there, Godwin is letting us know this isn't an isolated. We shouldn't look at it
as an isolated case.
Of a gas explosion. There could be a water crisis somewhere where the same problem of approvals has been done. Buildings somewhere, roads somewhere, flyovers. We know various spots on major highways where there's no proper crossing for pedestrians. And I'm sure someone has approved that as a road. This being a well-oiled machine with political players involved, where do we go from there?
Before we come to that, I was listening to the a tape of the first person who called the police, and I realized that there are some systems that are working.
Okay.
One of the guy who first saw the fire, first saw the leakage, confessed that he called, I think, 999 or the government hotline, and it was picked.
Okay.
And I was like, oh my! I even didn't know that the number existed, and it shows that even if there are challenges, we are headed somewhere.
Okay.
The problem that we have, starting from the smallest village called Kwaregi to our major town, Nairobi, is planning. And this is not a Kenya Kwanza government problem or Uhuru's government. It has been an hereditary problem that has been since independence. The second major problem, which might be then the biggest one, is corruption. And you have called it, for lack of a better word, well-oiled machine. But we produces the best architects in East and Central Africa. And every time we are doing a project, especially major projects, we were having this discussion with Engineer Minor, and he was telling me that the design stage, everything is perfect. Because the architect gains nothing in compromising.
Yeah.
But the major problems rise, even the approvals are done. The major problem lies in the implementation stage.
Okay.
This is where those footbridges are removed, their redesigns are done, and they are not done by the initial designers.
Okay.
That is looking at the problem at the entire wholehearted. If we narrow to specifics, for instance, about the gas industries, the Daily Nation in the front page there, it talks about this farm is linked to another fire explosion or leakage in Nanyuki.
Laikipia.
Or in Laikipia.
Yes. Yeah.
And the question should be, who failed who?
Okay.
What we should be discussing is, what actions should be taken to those who took bribes?
Okay.
The government, the president gave a word that they should, the government officials should be taken to court. And I support that, because if today I'm approached and given a bribe, but I know that a certain guy who took the same bribe is battling a case court. And remember, if you are taken to court, normally if you are a public servant, the government caters for the legal implications. But if the government takes you, it becomes a criminal case. It is you to cater for the legal expenses. So I would urge that anytime we have such issues, those who are responsible should go and have their days in court. Those government officers from NEMA, EPRA, and everybody, so that they can come with trace that how did we register this. Also, there should be a room for public to take evidence against those officials.
Right.
Probably if I know that I tried to register and I was not given, but that was approved, so that we can build a culture where corruption, when somebody approaches you to bribe you, you rush to report.
Okay.
That would be a very good approach because it will save
Such
lives.
that there's benefit in reporting corruption cases.
Yeah.
Right.
Actually, I like what he's saying, and he's making a lot of sense. But Kenyans, we need to have a correct definition of what corruption is.
Okay.
When corruption favors you, you call it connection. When it does not favor you, you call it corruption.
Okay.
I'm very sure some of us even here, if they could tell you that, give us something, give us, we're giving you 10 million to work it up. If it's legal, we need to configure the corruption units in our school system. Right from class 1, students need to be told that corruption is bad, to send fear, to tell them the impacts of corruption, the bad impact that corruption can have to an
So
economy.
we need to teach corruption in school.
Yeah, we need to teach it in school.
We were taught about corruptions and the ripple effects when we were there. I think we need to change the whole approach. And the approach is punishing. If today I'm a thief, assuming I'm a thief, today I see a fellow thief who is still with is stoned to death. Tomorrow I'll be careful.
Very true.
If we try to inculcate this culture to grown up, before we start out the kids may be upright, but before they get to become grown-ups, they will have adapted the old system. I'm talking about measures. We don't need to repeat the Uhuru's arrest Fridays. We now need to think about how to win these legal battles in court, because there is a lacuna in law, and we also don't expect our MPs to address those lacunas, because sometimes they are also beneficiaries, or they also have implications. When they do that, they might also be witch hunted. But we now need to think within the law, how can we deal with these corrupt individuals? We only need 5 cases. And everybody will be rushing away from corruption.
But what Godwin is saying is that we need to also look at corruption outside of the public realm, that is politics. So we are the same Kenyans who bribe, right? We are the same Kenyans who overspeed and bribe. We're the same Kenyans who overlap. We're the same Kenyans who, bribe to get into schools or to get our kids into schools. But we are still also the same ones who are complaining about the larger scale of corruption. If we have an inherited issue, definitely legal mechanisms are important. But I'm tending to agree with him also that we should have a miniature version of teaching corruption. In that, as a kid from class 1, you're taught the basics of like the low-level corruption that you have access to. So maybe an example in the textbook, John's dad gave the principal 5,000. What is it? Corruption.
What my friend is trying to advise us, is trying to, the politicians are the ones who created this problem. So when you say that we need politicians and parliament to help us fight corruption, we are fighting a losing battle. Your problem cannot be solved by somebody who created them, by somebody who is a beneficiary of it, So you need to put that aside and now we are going to start from a fresh leaf. Na samaki mkunje, angali mbichi. When you start telling these kids, as early as young as they are, there are some things you cannot do because you are told that unajua kitu fulani ni mbaya. For example, hata tulikuwa tunaandika composition pale, mtu fulani alienda Mombasa pale, alikuwa na sponyo this and this, it ended up, you find that when you are trading nasa and you trade carefully, because some of those things were planted already on your head. But if you try to tell somebody don't do corrupt, right now if you tell him that give me 1 million and I give you, you become we are giving you a tender, he will be the first one to give that money and say that Nico na connection. You'll not call it corruption. But now when I'm given that tender and I go and take it and his papers are put aside, in fact thrown, and I'm given it through corruption 1 million, he'll call it corruption.
Sometimes I feel like we celebrate it even as a republic.
I say corruption is a Kenyan culture, which is a negative culture that needs to be done away with, and it cannot be done away with by empty talks. It cannot be done away with even the legal system. It needs to be an whole audit system. In primary school, I remember if you'll go with the samosas, the prefect will not write you as a nice maker. We are laughing because that is the corruption starts at the grassroots. So today, if you want to address the issues, and that will have solved 97% of the issues that we face in Kenya.
Do you think we are enablers as citizens of the corruption that we see? Given, I feel like we celebrate sometimes. For example, is, you know, sometimes MCA wa kwenu, someone is a one-time MCA, akiingia, alafu anguke the next round, and then comes back to his normal life, nasema, angalia huyu jamaa, ulikuwa MCA na hukutoka na kitu. Ama angalia huyu jamaa ni MP. Anyway, if they we are happier if they succeeded.
In fact, all those people who have been taken to court for corruption, they go to the voters and they win elections with landslide. Just for example, just to mention the case that was at the neck of Kirinyaga Governor Anweguru.
Yes.
She was being there were allegations leveled against her that you know the youth money was stolen. She went and won an election. You know, there is this John Waluke. There was a court case. In fact, he was even in prison. He won
Incriminated.
He won an election even inside the prison. So also Kenyans, we love the corrupt, you know. Enda pale iba.
Sasa inatuumiza sisi wenyewe. Do we see that?
Na unajua inatuumiza kwa nini? Ni kwa sababu haijatufavor. Lakini wewe ikakufavor, utaita connection. So this is something that we need to seriously sanitize it, you know, with all the detergent
and corruption
possible.
is in our DNA. You know, when you are going back home in the evening, you better sit in that kakiti kadogo unapatianga kambao and pay the normal prices rather than wait for the next matatu. When we are talking about corruption and being 90% of the problem we are facing, we really mean that everything that surrounds you in the office where you are working, you have that unproductive guy who did engineering but he's in a bank. Because he used dubious means to get there.
To get that,
So he's affecting the overall productivity.
Yes.
Even going to what is covered in the reason why our dollar, the currency issues that our dollar is depreciating.
Yes.
You will find that the experts in the economies, they just did a degree in something else.
Yeah,
and now they are doing masters in the field that they were employed.
Okay.
When we are talking about corruption, and I'm glad that we are having this conversation as a youth, we need to count the cost and pay the price and decide if we want to pay the price today or tomorrow.
Later.
And if we decide to pay the price tomorrow, probably we may not even live towards tomorrow because somebody else might buy our death through other means. Maybe that's the default mechanic who does bad work in your car, and because the inspector is going to be corrupt, you have a road accident. So we need to think as a nation.
So who should we be angry at? Anger as hundreds stare death in the face. Is it ourselves or the leaders that we have enabled through our corrupt nature?
Ourselves.
Okay.
Because even those leaders, we elected them. And we had to be motivated to go to those ballot boxes, to go and vote. From the MCA, you will hear somebody say, and we have to be truthful to ourselves. Kama hanipati za macho,
haoni kura yangu.
Haoni kura yangu.
You know, Okenye, on what he's saying, a member of parliament will have to go to his constituency on a weekend. He will be invited to over 30 funerals, you know. He has to go there and give people money. When you alight from a vehicle just to go and urinate, people will come for you, give us money. Where do you expect this person to get money from? You know, Atwoli once asked us those questions and we really cascaded him. And Kenyans are emotional thinkers. They don't like to think, you know,
with logic.
With logic. They are emotional thinkers. You ask them, you want this person to build school, you want this person to educate your child. He does not, his salary cannot even cater for the entire constituency. If right now Wamatangi, the governor of Kiambu County, comes here, will natanikanja dongapi. So we view them as people who should give us money.
Individually.
And we are then telling them that go and steal and give us. We don't, the end justifies the mean. Whether you have stolen it or not stolen it, borrow menipatia, I will go there. So it is something that is also that Kenyans, we are our own problems. Let's also respect them in matters of dignity, in matters of ethics. This corruption will just reduce by them. If today we say that we are going to elect members of parliament because of what they can perform, you know, this money, you have money, yes, we can take money, but we're not going to vote for you because of money, but we are going now to vote for uncorrupt leaders. This morning I was reading the Standard and I was even crying when I saw that my deputy governor, who people are saying is going to be a governor, is being castigated for, you know, corruption case, 120 million. That is Ayub Savula. Is already on courts with 120 million, and the sugar industries there are ailing. You know, the children are not going to school. You've seen children being aired on TV. KUTV has aired some of the problems that the children are facing, and somebody has stolen that money with his wives. That person, I can assure you, is going to win an election with landslide.
For sure.
Yeah.
Maybe. And the other thing, I think we've gotten to a point where it's such a norm. Hadi tunasema siku hizi ati aibe basi lakini afanye kitu.
Aibe ajisaidie.
Aibe lakini afanye kitu, yani atuweke hata hospitali moja nini, lakini aibe. We've condoned it so much that we want to allow it as long as there's something presentable in the face of this corruption.
And you know, they are very stupid even when they are stealing, you know. You create an advertisement company, you know, we advertise this, that is 100 million, you know, those things. They are even not clever in stealing because nobody will question them, you know.
Yeah.
My friend called Shen Jane is telling me that she's watching, that corruption is a Kenyan side hustle. Every Kenya has a side hustle called corruption.
Wow.
She's very wise.
Wow. National side hustle. I will not disagree.
Because we are here castigating corruptions. But if we are honest with ourselves, we have either participated or become beneficiaries of corruption.
Personally, I have never participated.
I'll say this.
You've always benefited. Even unataka kusema
benefited.
You came in a matatu that was overloaded.
No, I
Karawa
take matatus
was given
that are
his-
very ethical in nature. I refuse.
And that
Whenever I
is
see
the
that-
greatest problem
and we can
with
begin.
Kenya.
We don't need. We can begin it from here. The moment you see corrupt, tell them no. I'm not corrupt. I'm ethical. We are going to operate in this manner.
Yes.
You know?
We cannot be able to fully solve the corruption issues if we don't agree first to say that we are beneficiaries, we are corrupt. As Kimani Washira will say, I'm corrupt.
either you're participating or you're benefiting.
You are benefiting.
Okay.
If I'll be going back to Kiambu through the Ruiru way, and I'm sure we are going to give 450s to the 4 traffic officers that we'll find stationed just from Ruiru to Kiambu. Simple maths.
For sure.
The matatu carries are, I think we are paying a fare of 50 bob. There are 4 police officers. The matatu should carry 14 people. It's going to carry 18 people.
So that the 4 cater for the police officers.
Police officers. So I'm an Embra. And sometimes we want to castigate the government, either the Kenya Kwanza government or the Uhuru's government, Moi's government, but we are the greatest in Embra. So for us to solve, and because I'm sure that having addressed that, we have addressed the problem of IDs, because that comes with tendering, procurement.
We've covered actually.
We have covered everything in this gazette.
This, yeah, for sure.
And the problems that we are facing in Kenya is corruption.
Okay. On that, in terms of what you were saying earlier, which is prosecution, there's a story here on page 5 of the Standard, where EACC is probing the country's 11 trillion debt. It's, I don't know why they're surprised when even me and you here, Kimani Washira, we spoke about the new adjustments to how we are borrowing back before the Finance Act or the Finance Bill of 2023. So there's a new way in which we are calculating debt. All right. So they broke off the ceiling, and now we are doing a percentage, right? Now they are also saying, now here a probe from EACC, that some of this money cannot be accounted for. Who took this debt and where was it taken to? There is an issue of prosecution. Before we get into the debt, who is failing us in terms of prosecution? EACC is asking for a look into prosecutorial powers, yeah? So they are allowed to look for corrupt individuals. Currently they aren't, right?
So by the constitution, they are not.
They are not, right? Yeah. And they're hoping that something can be done so that they also have that power. But we do have an ODPP,
but
right?
Even if they are given the power, as we said, we have to be honest with ourselves. If corruption is a good system that is there, that though it's not favoring us, it is an established system. We give EACC the power to prosecute. These people will go and bribe the judge. Where are the cases presented before the court so far from the ODPP. And from EACC? Yes. That's what I'm asking. The idea is simple, and we need to think as a nation, if we want to deal with this problem, either prosecutions, cases are thrown by politicians. After a successive regime, there is a change of regime, some cases are adopted, others are introduced.
Very true.
Evidence disappear. Does it disappear in the hands of EACC, in the hands of ORPP, or even in the courts? We need to do before we do the audits of our economical situation, we need to do an audit of the corruption system.
That is
so that when we are doing the actual audit of the trillions we have borrowed, we'll be sure of if these results are corrupt free or they are corrupt driven. Okay. Because even in the audits, if I benefited, I can be able to influence the report that is going to be tabled in parliament or even in the public domain. I can, through corruption means, I can look for bloggers to change the narrative that online when the report is going to be brought, so that people cannot have an eye.
Godwin,
Back to you.
Yes.
Ken Abuya is saying here that you guys are, anasema tuna fume, and anasema that you guys can breathe. If we didn't have this government, it wouldn't even be any better. So they're saying if we had the alternative from the polls last time, which was the Azimio government, it wouldn't even be, it wouldn't be any better because
I would like
the system.
Yeah. I would like to thank him for saying the truth, because I'm also not here to defend Azimio or Kenya Kwanza. That is not my business to be here.
Yeah.
But I think Azimio is, in fact, in these corruption cases, Azimio is really failing Kenyans than even the government itself. Why am I saying this?
Very true.
Yeah.
How so?
Because Azimio has, if there is any investment that Azimio has, it is the tyranny of lawyers and serious advocates.
For sure.
They kina James Orengo, they kina nani.
Let us say the creme de la creme
the creme de la creme of the legal system.
Actually, is in Azimio.
But they take their cases to funerals. They have never stepped in any court of law to incriminate and present evidence to hold these people responsible. So Azimio is also failing the people. And when I watch news watching Raila Odinga talking in funerals, I feel like you are just talking like a local man, like Fendo Godwin. Take these issues to parliament, through your members of parliament to present issues, take these issues to courts. But you cannot just using, we are tired of, press statements and press releases. Hizo andika kitabu tutasoma.
Andika memo
tutanunua hizo vitu, take them to court. And I really also like to appreciate William Ruto, though I don't support his ideologies and his ways of operations. But when he was outside the government, he managed to single-handedly pin down BBI. He could have his hand influence there. But this has mean, we will work, I don't know what, we want elections, fight these things that are oppressing
they also
Kenyans.
have their own vested interests in
maybe
the fruits from the government.
Yeah. So what the callers just said is very, very true. And I think something needs to be done. Whether we decide to solve this issue by prayers or I don't know. because how are you going now to solve it? Yeah?
I have been
Prayers.
in government. I have been in opposition. And I'll tell you this for a fact. There is nothing as easy as opposing anything. So when he says that the opposition is failing, he really means it.
Yeah.
Because all you need to is a whistleblower, get your facts right, table them in public, table them in parliament, go for legal actions. But when the opposition becomes the official noise maker,
Very true, yeah.
then you are not helpful, both to the government system and also to the people who voted you as the opposition. Because you are there because people voted you as the official opposition leader. If we wanted to have Wajakoya as the official opposition leader, they would have voted him in also as the second candidate.
Okay.
So what we are saying is, and this needs to go directly to the ODM team, because Azimio right now is neither here nor there. Jubilee is saying their own thing.
First time I've heard you say that on this show.
We changed it. I was saying this year we are going to be truthful,
brutally honest.
Brutally honest.
We are as I said, it's the month of Rao. We are going to raise red flags.
Yeah, where we see them. Yeah.
And they are it's unfortunate that even the government is doing better work in communication compared to Azimio. The OGS, Office of the Government Spokesperson, they are doing well. We saw them go to the site where there was fire, Embakasi. The following day, they are not talking from offices. Have we seen people in opposition either support the people who are the victims of the fire, visited the site, or even issued a statement regarding this? And remember, we must be truthful to ourselves that Raila is the greatest investor in this field. We remember, and people ask, there is no evidence. I'll go back during Maandamano. There is a company that was attacked
and it
by
was,
goons.
Yeah.
And Raila was there to defend it because he said it is associated with him. Yeah. That is the evidence that this is not heresy.
Yeah. Okay.
These
I
are
like
not
it.
mere allegations.
Today I feel like an intellectual mogul. Or something. I feel good when I see a fellow youth, debating things not from a biased manner, but we are debating and cutting across all these positions because they are. And this also brings me back to the Ruto agenda. And when we were beginning this talk show, he said one thing that we need to help the government to achieve its mandate. If you will be mentally ill if you are trying to say or wish the government to fail. And this brings me back to the Ruto's agenda about that we need to create an office for the Prime Minister. Because this Raila Amolo Odinga and the opposition people, I think they are really wasting time on funerals and those things. They need to channel their office. Yeah, they need to be in an office so that they can sit down and discuss for the benefits of Kenyans. Because we can no longer afford to waste a lot of time and afford PR stunts from politicians. When a crisis happens, it now gives an opportunity for somebody to eat PR with it and gain political mileages. You know, they're now using it as political mileages and showing us how educated and how what should have been done, how what should not be done. Castigating this one, throwing hands here and there. We need not to have those type of nonsense.
Yes. It's high time that kind of tete-a-tete died down. All right, so read for yourself, man. That has heated us up. What is happening in Embakasi? It's a very sad situation, though. So condolences to the families that have been affected, and we're hoping that these survivors can get help as soon as possible. And this gas leaks, EPRA, man. EPRA, kazi ni kupandisha tu mafuta. Ebu angalia hizi vitu.
But you see, they were in court.
Come on.
And I'm saying we have to give credit where it's due. EPA had taken these people to court some
they shut down the affiliate farm in Nanyuki, mmesema,
Yes. So and also last 2020, a certain guy from that farm was also in court. There were some court orders. In fact, I saw them being distributed online because you can now download from the portal of the judiciary thing if this person has a case.
And there is nothing.
These people what did the court say? They had in fact impounded some of the LPG that was quack, that was bad, that was not good for consumption. Maybe for it's flammable.
Okay.
And you know, OKENYE, there is nothing new under this. You remember the Solai Dam issue? A lot of lives lost, a lot of property lost. Where was the one go? In fact, this case we can even hear with the knowledge that he has, with the knowledge that we can even predict how this case is going to end. Of course, if we bank on our history, we can know how this case is going to end.
There's a trend.
And very soon we'll see some of these people who are being criminally going for political seats. At Kenyans,
the owner of this gas plant could vie for county governor Nairobi and win
so
easy.
there is nothing.
But I hope that the Ruto declaration in Western,
which is what?
About the not arresting the owner first. Let us first deal with the people in the system
who are enabling this.
Yes.
That might be the game changer. And kudos Bwana Ruto. I'm sure that if the people who are the juniors implement this, very will be making a step forward. But the problem is if they don't.
That's the first.
I just hope
that's
what
the first kudos to William Ruto I've ever had on this show.
No, it's not yet time to give him kudos. I just hope that when this scandal happened in Wasingishu County about the Finland, about the scholarship. People incriminated Mandago. We need to be in it. The president should act. Where is he? How is he just relaxing and eating the money? So we hope that he's now going to take action and not just some words. Even our ears are tired of just listening to words.
Watu wafanye kazi.
Since the death of Ouko, tutachunguza, tunasema wale watu ambao walifanya watu wafanye kazi, watu wanaingia prison. Committee has a very.
I think there should also be like a 2-week silence from both the opposition and the government. Watu wafanye kazi kwanza, press statements tufanye baadaye tena.
The only office that should be working is the office of the government spokesperson. Why? Waambie watu wanyamaze.
For sure. So also I just wanted to take this chance to give people caution when they're using their gas kwa nyumba. Gas cylinders kutumia pale, make sure you're checking if it's safe. Ukisikia gas emission, report it, toa nje, get it in fresh air. Unaweza tumia soapy water to actually pour it on top of that cylinder. If it's if it shows bubbles, it means it's leaking. And it doesn't have to be soapy water actually, even water. So and then if it's leaking, throw a blanket or a cloth on top of the fire instead of pouring water or any other liquid that you have. Stay safe when you're cooking out there. So that's what is happening, and you can read more about it on page which page was that? Page 10 of the Daily Nation and page 4 of the Standard. Gentlemen, hiyo story imefanya tumecover hadi history ya IDs. Juu pia mimi sijapata ID yangu from last year December. I renewed my passport from May 2023. It's almost getting to a year. I've not gotten anything.
Have you called that number that was given by Kindiki?
Now house is a crime scene, bro. No one's
no problem, but I have asked. We need, if we have to persecute the government, we need to do it from a point of information.
No one's speaking.
No one is speaking.
No one's speaking. We can call it right now.
So
if we had time.
Try that.
If we had time.
So that we can now go and castigate them. We are going to try this because I'm saying that when the government says anything, as a responsible citizen, try it, and if it does not fail, hold them accountable.
And it is a very sad state of affair when a journalist of the caliber of OKENYE is also complaining that he doesn't have an ID.
Man, come on.
And we have over 500,000 students who are expected to go to the first year. These people will expect to have ID cards, to apply for help, to register mobile numbers. And in Nairobi right now, people are very careful. Nobody wants to give you. Wewe you are a man, umeregister na jina ya mama yako.
Kuna withdraw pesa anakuambia haiwezi.
Anakuambia haiwezi. So we are just creating a serious issue that handling it will be quite difficult. So we need to take this thing seriously. And the issues are giving why this delays. The government printers have failed. All things that mimi hata ninakuaga na printer kwa nyumba nile nikifinance.
Unaweza nyayo house yako.
But at the same time, we must also be cognizant of Kenyans who take IDs. They go to take new IDs, especially replacement, but they never pick them.
Okay.
If you follow the CS, I think was it Moses Kuria, he published the list of uncorrected IDs, and I was, oh my, in his socials. And even it's covered in page 7 of the Daily Nation. Uncorrected IDs, there is a photo there, and there are a lot of, we go apply for driving licenses, we never go to pick them. We go apply for IDs, we never go to pick them. Okay, this does not justify the reason why.
Yeah, I was going to ask, man.
But we also need to, those who have already picked might be part of the people who are complaining. I'm sure you are not.
Yeah, I'm not.
But
I don't have my ID.
Because I'm sure because of you visit these big houses, you need to access the ID.
Have you talked about the bureaucracies that are involved in the DO's office and Rudi tunataka sijui birth certificate what?
Ndio public disservice.
Yeah.
Umekuja na photocopy ya birth Rudi. It doesn't matter. Enda ulete tena. Unaleta unaambiwa kuna nyingine.
And you know that these ID issues were brought in Kenya in 1915 and people are working with them as kipande system on their neck.
Now they're suggesting an expiry date to them.
I have never gone to the United Kingdoms, but I hear that huko watu watumiangi ID. Is it true? What is that?
Kimani, you have been to London.
I'll say this one before when we come to the issues of what other nations are doing. One, I support the idea of the ID being digital. We don't need to carry Huduma numbers or whatever. And so if it's digital, it needs to expire so that your photo can be updated.
Just like a driving license.
Just like a driving license.
Okay.
But there is a lot of, we live in an age of misinformation, deception, and propaganda. Now I have heard that we are saying that when the IDs expire, your citizenship has expired. That is a joke. But I think the government needs to come up with a better way of updating these systems without changing the physical ID. Or if it's not possible, then we make sure that that face-off is not done at the same time. It's done slowly.
Okay.
Going back to the issues of Rwandan, I want to send my quick recoveries to the King Charles.
King Charles.
He has prostate cancer. When I'll be visiting him, I'll come with a good feedback about. As a foreigner, you have to walk with your passport.
Very true. Yeah.
But those guys are very free. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to pick one story, and then because we only have less than 10 minutes actually. We have less than 10 minutes, so I'll allow you gentlemen to also pick a story each that we would not like to gloss over. Wacha nianze na yangu as you guys pick yours. So still at the front of the Daily Nation, there's a story there on affordable housing project, which has hit a snag at the court, and President William Ruto is not so happy about it. There are concerns about the affordable housing project. I'm just going to read through them. Alafu mniambie, just a question I have is, why is President William Ruto so insistent on affordable housing? Amesumbuana nayo, wameita CJ Kome State House, wameiongelelea, imeenda koti, wameinsist. His whole government is pushing it. So here are 7 concerns before I get to hear what you gentlemen have to say. Opaqueness on funds handling at the end of each financial year. This opaqueness is actually what I was going to respond when you were talking about, supporting the expiry of IDs and going digital. These days, anything with the government, fingerprint, mali government imesema ndipo, unaanza kushuku kidogo, yeah? When the government is insisting on a project, most of the times and as he was saying, if you look at records and history, it will serve right now. There's a trend, there's a pattern. About the G2G deal, which I refer to as, let me not say it on national TV, I might not know the implication, but G means something else. The G from OG. So
the G's is the bag.
It was G, between a G and another G, they made a deal, and you see how that went. So we have that opaqueness in how the funds are handled. Loophole for people who never contributed to acquire houses, inadequate cash collection for category of houses, channeling monies to counties without spending guidelines, implication of the levies nullification in the ongoing housing projects, gaps and overlaps in the classification of what exactly is an affordable housing unit, unclear definition of institutional housing programs and projects. I think I agree with most, or if not all, of these concerns of the affordable housing. So guys, your sentiments on affordable housing. I just have to say again, I am always surprised on an individual level, this is my personal opinion, on why the president is so angry about the levy when he can do affordable housing without collecting money. The president has the powers to build everyone a house if he wants. He does not need our money, but the insisting on him getting the housing levy and him correlating it to the blocking of affordable housing is what I don't get. So gentlemen, your few pointers before you bring
Mr.
your
Richard,
stories.
4 years from today or 5, you'll be a parent.
Okay.
And when the kids will be of age, and you ask them, vote if you want to go to school. We all know they will vote no. But you know that education is important for those kids. That's why you'll be insistent of them to go to school.
Without their vote.
Africa, regardless of how they vote, Africa has an Agenda 63 that talks about housing. As a nation, these are not the first government houses to be built, regardless of the issues that have been raised. During Mwai Kibaki's time, we did Kibra housing when Raila was the prime minister. During Uhuru's tenure, most of the houses that we are launching today were done during that time, and we're also constructing. The economy of Kiambu, and I dare say this, is controlled by the real estate business, where youths are employed in MJ, mama mbogas are employed to make ranches for those MJs, and also even at the Badaskis. So the issues of housing is a major issue in terms of addressing various issues affecting our nation.
Okay.
But now the problem came in that when it was being implemented, as the court directed, there was no public participation and the taxes issues, and that is going to be it's being readdressed through the bill.
Okay.
But of course, as a Kenyan, we are not happy when now something is being taken from our pockets.
Okay.
In the economical situations we are in. That is why there is a lot of pulling up and pushing up. But the idea of house, nobody's is even you said in your own words that the president can build as many houses as
they
he
want
wants,
affordable
because
housing.
everybody wants a house.
I'm in support
but
of it.
Everybody supports the idea. The problem comes with the financing of that houses, and that's where the example of the education is coming. So my advice to the president will be, let due process be followed. And due process means that that bill is taken to Parliament, Senate, and give another 4 months for court, because after it's being passed, it's going to happen that.
For sure.
But before that, we can think about how we can do this as proto projects without the taxes.
Fendo, you're weighing in on this, and where are these affordable houses when we have people in Embakasi who need houses?
So first of all, I like to correct what my friend has said, and I'm correcting it from the point of order that asking a kid if you want to go, of course they'll vote no. But if Ruto is saying, or rather the president, Dr. Ruto says that Kenyans need houses, we are going to put, that's an idea that he has just forced down people's throat. If truly these things are about people-centered, if you want to help the people, what do you do first? You ask them, what do you need to be done for you?
Okay.
Nobody told him we need houses, Many people need industries. If industries are there, they'll get salaries, they'll go buy land and build their own homes and houses. But if you're giving this person a house, that Nyumba affordable housing is there, again, these houses is not for the hustlers. Go and read this daily, and you'll know. Because they're saying the people allocation is allocation. For the people who earn a salary of 149,000 and above, they have been allocated 60% of those houses.
But there are two projects.
Wait, I complete my point. So they have been allocated 60% of those houses. Those earning between 20,000 to 149,000, they have now been allocated around 30%, And that salary of 20,000 to 149,000, you know how many people are going there. Now there are those people, those people who don't have employment. And even that, pale, utakuja na 20,000, somebody has come with 50,000. So it will supersede, it will overtake what the government is expecting to help the hustlers and the mamambogas. So this is, just allow me to finish my point, because if I don't deliver it correctly, I will be misunderstood.
For sure.
So this, it will overrun the government intentions to help the poor, the mamamboga. Because how many mamamboga can make 20,000 per month? You know, this is a loan. They're going to pay it as rent. The people are going to pay 18,000, 20,000 shillings and 30,000 shillings. And even these people who are saying that we have created employment, that's not employment. Hiyo ni kibarua. Umepatiwa pale immediately.
To differentiate kibarua na employment.
To differentiate kibarua na employment. Because huyo kijana akishatoka hapo hivyo, building kisha goroa imeshapa kwa rangi, wewe kazi yako imeisha. And you will not even afford to live in that house. No, let alone afford living in that house. Hata wakupate hapo unazunguka, wewe unachapwa kiboko. Ati wewe ni hustler, unakuja hapa kufanya nini? So this thing is going to overtake. It will have been, made a lot of sense if they are going to give it to the real hustlers on the ground. But they are going to use pay slips.
People are failing to understand is, in the interest of time, there are two projects. There is Boma Yangu, where you rent to own, and that is what is meant for Mama Mboga. As I said, this year we are calling it the way it is.
Okay.
And then there is the other one for everybody. And nobody is thinking about the rent to own. And that was what was meant for or envisioned for the hustlers. You'll be paying rent.
How affordable is that rent to own?
It is around 8,000 to 12,000.
Okay.
But nobody is talking about it, because if we talk about it, we'll be giving the government of the day, it will be seen that the government of the day is delivering. That's why we are so much focusing on the 40,000 for the mababuenyenyes who live in suburb areas such as where my brother comes from.
Okay. You know, my friend, I just need to reply to him because he's misleading the audience. He's saying that there is affordable 8,000 rent because you don't. It seems like you are losing the touch with the mamambogas. How many can just comfortably afford? Wait, wait.
Rent to own.
Wait, 8,000. What criteria is the government going to use? They are going to give us, wait first. We are not in a barada or in a bar somewhere. Just wait me to complete my point. Which is the indication that they're going to use to give these houses to people? They are going to use your, bank statements. Let's just be factual. Nobody is going to give you a house and they know you'll be incapable of paying, and there's somebody there earning 50,000 one in that house and they can give it. So we need to also be pragmatic. We should not just, even if Rural sema enzi za kudanganywa pia zimeisha. Indicate hata wewe if they elect you as a manager today to seek those people, you look what is your bank.
What do you have?
You will make perceived. Are those judgments coming from money? Okay. In fact, the poorer you are, your papers zitawekwa huko kando.
So, guys, because time is flying by, 9:52 in the morning. Hata hiyo story na nilikuwa kila mtu apeane moja, utasoma tu headline na statement moja. I don't think we'll discuss so much. I just wanted to see the figures of people who are earning over 100,000 in Kenya are 310,000. And less than 1 million people in this republic ndo wana earn over 100,000 bob. So our watu wote wengine wako under 100k.
Very true, but that is from the government. Those people who are employed.
And now the ones those ones
this is Kenya. 100,
the majority.
But we know how media does it when we are trying to quote figures, because that is eye-catching. If we go back to the ground and think about how many people are employed in the business of community, earning business, as a business person.
A business person isn't earning a salary though.
Statistically, there are only 75,000 Kenyans. Statistically,
business is different.
So let me answer you. Statistically, the number of Kenyans with a bank account of 100,000 and above in Kenya, in a population of 52 million Kenyans, stands at 75,000 Kenyans only. That the Kenyans who have 100,000 and above sleeping. 75,000 Kenyans only. Now remember, what he's saying is true.
We are coming there. As a Kikuyu, you don't expect me to keep 100,000 sleeping in the bank. Why don't we look at how many people are operating, probably in a month, 100,000 in and out? That will be better statistics. Because when what we are talking about is about how many people have that 100,000 sleeping, waiting for.
But isn't that what the housing project is going to do? You look at what you have in your account, about 100,000.
For the Boma Yangu, you'll be paying rent as you live in the same house, and then after a certain years, you're going to be the legal owner of that house.
Hustler
and these
fund.
suggestions are very good, but we need to take them in the public participation so that the bill that is going to be drafted.
We can just do it in relation to the hustler fund. They say the hustler fund is going to be for the hustlers. You know, people are given loan according to what they have. According to in IT,
course.
I've done IT in JKUAT diploma in IT with algorithms of
we can figure out.
Yeah, they can figure out. Mimi yangu ilikuja 300. Kuna mwingine ilikuja 2K.
Mimi.
So in a nutshell, they are going to focus on what you. They are going to judge you with money.
My brother.
And there is
also Kimani, I just want to say that
huwezi lipa kama yeye amesema ni kusema.
Wewe unapinga but sisi tunasema stats. Stats show.
You don't argue with
from
statistics.
Kenya National
You don't
Bureau
argue
of
with the numbers.
Are showing not so
you
many
cannot argue with the numbers.
Although Kimani Washira has more than 100k in his account and
no, not more than operating. I don't in my bank account hakuna pesa inalala.
Sawa, gentlemen, hata hiyo story tulikuwa tuseme wala tutaweza kuweza. It's 9:55 in the morning. So I just have under 1 minute to wrap this up. Maybe if you say the headline and say one comment, say the headline, one comment, nimalize, tusome quote.
So mine is on Daily Nation, that is page 3. The hunter becomes the hunted as more police officers face charges. Police officers are facing a lot of charges on murder cases, some crimes and about that. It's high time that the government of Kenya creates, mental places where these police officers can go and be equipped. It's high time that the government prioritize the needs of these police officers because most of them are facing psychological issues. If you read this Daily Nation, today's Daily Nation, the number of police officers incriminated on murder issues and crimes is so high. There is a need so that, these police officers are taken care of. These are the people who are protecting our lives. When somebody dies in a dam, when people are killed anywhere, who will be called to pick? A lawyer will not be taken to pick. A doctor will not be taken to pick. It's these police officers who are going there. They are facing a lot of issues. It's high time the police reforms are done and made to help them also live a better life. Because I feel sad when I see a lot of police officers being taken to court on issues of criminal activities, murder and all things. And more often than not, these people are suffering. That is also another topic that I will ask me to address it.
Thank you so much.
I'll go for an advert in the page, in the Standard, page 5, talking about from the county government of Kiambu, public notice waiver on land rates. This is to notify the general public of, it's talking about, there is a bill that was passed in 2016 by the Kiambu County Assembly that introduced payment of all free land should be paid for some taxes. And that is saying that we are going to tax what took us to the forest to fight for independence.
Okay.
So, Bwana Kimani wa Matangi, shape up or we ship you out.
Okay, I wish we had time to speak about Kimani Watangi because he's also my governor, but another time, yeah? Time has run out. I'll just close it here and I will do the quote today instead. So at the back of the Business Daily, we have Andre Paul Gulame. That's French, so forgive my French. Complete possession is proved only by giving. All you are unable to give possesses you. Complete possession is proved only by giving. All you are unable to give possesses you. Think about it, and thank you very much for tuning in to this edition of Biashara Tuesday on KUTV Rise Today.